A. Lewis. I write Sophista Ratchet drama, specializing in family toxicity, I guess is the best way I can say that. So I write mature storylines with a lot of drama, and I love a good sex scene. So
Yeah,
you're
people
always going
thinking
to
we
get
all
that.
fucked up.
Yes, yes. And lately it's been centering around family, the family dynamics. So that's me. I'm also the creator of Bray, the Black Readers Appreciation event. Um, I don't know what else I can say about Bray because Bray is what it is. And it's connecting indie authors with readers is the purpose of the platform, is giving independent authors an opportunity to shine, be seen, and get their books read. Um, and I'm also the co-owner and operator of DNS Media, which we specialize in doing audiobooks for black for us for the black readers and listeners and authors. And I happen to be married to that guy up there, D. Lewis.
I'd have
That's
said
all.
that shit completely different.
I
I'm
know you
glad you
would
went
have.
first.
That's crazy. Go ahead, D. Introduce yourself, Lord Jesus.
I know.
What's
I
up,
know.
guys? I'm D. Lewis. I'm a narrator of okay, I'm gonna behave like that because I had some shit that came in my mind. I ain't gonna say
Don't do it.
that. No, I narrate urban fiction, all genres. That's how I get down. And that's my lovely wife right there below me on the screen. And shit, we do the damn thing. What? I ain't say enough. You want me to
That
talk more?
was no,
What I say?
no. All right. So let's
What that mean?
nigga.
Nothing. You did good. You did good.
I really did
No,
try.
he just be wanting to start beef.
No, I know.
He just be trying to start beef. Let me ask my question.
What's up? You
Damn.
asking me?
This is one for both of y'all. So you both pour into each other's dreams. What does that look like on a daily basis, and how do you support each other beyond your creative projects?
I'll let you go first.
Yeah, okay, I'll go first. It's I don't know. See, you guys see something. You guys are looking at shit and seeing it from the outside in. This is just something we've always done, even before all this. You know what I mean? Before she was an author, even before I was a narrator. When we got down, we just really kind of committed to each other in that way. So whether it was secularly, family wise, we've always kind of rocked like that, where we're gonna support each other no matter what it is that the other person wants to do. So a lot of that is allowing your partner to have the space to be themselves, being able to accept that. So whether it was me in the grind secularly and in the corporate shit, she was always there. She had my back. She supported me, and she was really there holding me up. You know what I mean? Going to all different type of events and shit, all that kind of stuff. So, and vice versa. She had me in some shit too. We might get to that story a little later if she try to cut up. I'm gonna bring out that NAACP story. But
Oh.
yeah, so but that's how we always kind of got down. So it's just natural for us. So when we evolved into this creative space that we are now in, you know, it's just a carryover from what we've always done. So I don't look at it as something special. I just see it as just us. I understand though with the dynamics of relationships and stuff today that it is something special, and I do appreciate what we have and I love what we have. But it's just natural, I think, for us to rock that way with each other and just support each other and whatever it is we want to do. She want to do the shit, yo, let's do it. All
Right.
right, I got you.
I think
and it's vice versa.
I think a big piece of it too is we're big on communicating to each other. So when we come up with these ideas, I'm usually the person who's with all the shits.
All of them.
I'm like, yes, we gonna do it.
All of them.
He's so analytical, that we're the perfect combination, because I'm the push. I'm the person who says we can make this happen, and he's gonna do the research and look at the resources in order for us to be able to do whatever I'm activated on. So it's the perfect combination, because he'll be the first person to say, oh, wait a minute, slow down. And I'll be the first person to say, no, we're going to push forward. And in doing so, I think we bring out the best in each other that way. And what he said too about allowing us to just be in our spaces. When I told him, well, I didn't even say I wanted to write. He was the person who said, now is the time for you to write. You told me this, 20 years ago, that you were going to do this, and I'm going to hold you accountable to it now because you don't have any obstacles. And then when he said, hey, I think I like narrating, I was like, let's make it happen.
Now, hold on. No, we're going to tell the shit right.
No, listen. No,
Nah, bruh.
after the initial bullying, and you said you think this is something you could fuck with, I stood 10 toes down and was like, let's make this happen.
All right. That's a little
bit. We have when each of us have a focus or a target, passion that we feel so strong about, we just come together and we try to make it work. Like
I'm gonna add a little to that though, seriously though, because so AA started writing. I pushed her into doing it because she always wanted to do it, and she always was coming up. She came up with like 1,000 excuses why she couldn't do it. Now in our relationship, she was always the creative because that's how she grew up, right? And I was always the analytical person because that's how I grew up. And so long story short, I tried to take all the obstacles away and say, okay, now you have no more excuses. Go ahead and do your thing. And she did. And the rest kind of evolved, and eventually I got into it with narration. I got bullied into the shit,
nigga.
But I ended up enjoying it. So she started supporting me in that. But that's just how we've always played off each other.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, so she was the initial jump off.
Yeah,
and I was just fine with that because I was cool just carrying the book, supporting her. I told her I would support you any way you needed me to. And that's what she needed me to do. She was like, yo, you got to rock with me, come to these events and shit. And she know I ain't a people person like that. So, but I did it, right?
You did.
But it's still the same thing today. I love to see her shine though, like from that very first event. I was like, yo, you dope as fuck. You have no idea what you doing right now, but I see it.
Yeah.
I started enjoying just kind of being around the community with her. And eventually I got into it. They drugged me into the shit. And I just, took off from there, yo. That's how the shit was. You make the faces, but that's really how it was. And
talking about bullying like you ain't doing your thing. Shut the hell up.
No, listen, no, I'm doing my thing.
It really was.
But I needed that push to see that I was not just analytical.
Yeah.
I'm creative as well.
Because he would never
I actually love that
his creative voice.
I never tapped into that piece of me, the creative side. So I joke and say I got bullied into it, which I did. Because I was adamant, yo. I was like, I'm not doing this shit.
If I could be a fly on the wall for that conversation.
I ended up loving it. I can give you the whole rundown.
No. We're going to go to the next question. Trust is like a huge factor in business and creative partnerships. Were there ever like moments where that trust was tested? How did you overcome like any challenges like that?
Go ahead, Ma.
I think, well, yes, trust is tested almost on a daily basis because anytime I'm the
What?
business person. No, I'm the business person in the relationship.
I
Um,
see. I don't trust a nigga.
no, that's not what I'm saying. But you don't always trust my direction. And that's where the compromise comes in, is because I do have a background in theater, in voice acting, dialect, coaching, all of these other things that he's just now tapping into. Plus, I know what he's capable of. So when I book him for a job and then he sees what it is, the first thing he'd like to do is become combative because he's not trusting the process, because he knows I'm getting ready to push him out of his comfort zone. And we always have to go back to, I would never put you in a situation where I don't believe you would win. My job is not to see you fail, like, because I need you to win. Like, I want you to win. So you have to trust the process. Um, and it's taken some time for him to rely on my skills and my expertise in this area. Where
Fuck you,
now,
man. You can see that. You
no,
can't see shit,
no,
Tony.
well, you're not as combative, but we still have the moments where he'll be like, damn, I can't believe you made me do this. And I'll be
No,
like,
I
best
was
work
looking in the
ever.
comments actually. I was looking in the
Best work
comments with that.
ever. I'd be like, best work ever, dude. So like sometimes you just have to listen. On a personal level, the trust for us is I think I trust him. Like, I think it was after year 5 of marriage, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. The first 5 years, I was like, I don't trust this nigga.
And I wasn't fucking with her either, y'all. I was not fucking with her either.
I don't trust this nigga out of my sight. But after we got past the first 5 years of marriage,
Yo, you wild as
no,
hell for that.
no, because you're combining
You
you're
wild as hell
combining
for that.
two completely different people, in this relationship.
Yo.
And even though we grew up together and we had known each other our whole lives, being married is a whole nother process. And there was a lot of, I'm so strong, and I'm groomed to be a woman who can never be soft. That, all the women in my family are like that. And here I have a man who wants to take control. And I've seen him take control based on, what he was doing. It was the 90s,
You
y'all.
knew who the fuck I was. You knew
Yeah.
exactly who the fuck I was.
Yeah. So,
Look.
wanting, for me, wanting to be submissive was never in me because he hadn't earned that part of me yet. So I had to learn to trust his leadership skills, and for him to also learn to trust me, because leading is a back and forth thing. It's never just him. It's never just me. It's a combination of both of our strengths so that we can overcome our weaknesses.
It's a power exchange.
Yeah.
I don't know if you going first no more.
Why? Because I brought up the first 5 years of marriage.
Nah, I ain't do that shit. This shit was long.
Oh,
Yo, I had some shit I wanted to say. I forgot.
well, go on and say it.
I forgot what it was.
The fuck?
Yo, okay. I'm gonna start with D because clearly he too old, y'all.
Okay.
Yeah,
don't have
nigga old, man.
anything.
Nigga is old. Listen.
What strengths do each of you bring to the table that complement the other's skill set?
I think she touched on it earlier. She's definitely the visionary. She can see some shit, and she'll see the end of it. Like she'll have the idea, she'll have the vision, and see the end of it. And I'm the one that comes in and say, okay, well, this is what needs to happen in order for us to get there. So we play on that a lot just in our daily life shit.
Yeah.
As far as our production shit goes, she is the one she grew up in this shit. So I rely on her a lot when it comes to something that I'm not absolutely comfortable with. For instance, I did The Dark Side of Light for her.
Oh, that was such a good audio book.
I was never supposed to do that book, ever, right? I didn't want to do it. She didn't want me to do it. And I was like, oh, cool, my nigga, thank you, because I didn't think it was me. I didn't think I could pull it off. I didn't think I was gonna do it justice. And I ended up just saying, you know what? She couldn't find anybody. So I said, yo, I didn't tell her. I just went down in the booth and said, I'm gonna just try this for her. And just was playing around and came up with something, and
you did a phenomenal job.
It was like, yo, that's exactly what I was looking for. How did you do this? So we just somehow we are connected in a way where we just know what each other needs. We know our needs for each other, and we know what we want, and we work together to get that shit. And I think that's what it's really all about in a true partnership.
I think D is the emotional support that I need. And what I mean by that is we grew up in two different households. Like, my family is emotionally constipated, and D's family is so openly loving, right? And I remember, again, the first 5 years of marriage, y'all learned a lot about each other. But that man came to me one day and said, you're going to allow my kids to hug you. If they want to love on you, you need to show them love, and you need to do the same for me. And that's when I really started noticing that his love language was so different from mine. That he is very emotional, and he allows me to have my emotional moments. So I can be soft around him. I don't have to be hard. Like,
that's only with her, y'all. That's not out in public. So people that have seen me out in public be like, no, that nigga ain't emotional. This nigga look mean as hell. I'm not mean, y'all. I promise you. I'm just chilling.
No, but that's the piece that I like, is that, I get to be the outgoing person. He gets to be the more reserved. I get to be, emotionally reserved. Excuse me. And he's very outgoing in that respect. So we complement each other that way.
You're inhaler it, girl. Shit.
Shut up.
Get something into you. Get something into you.
So do you approach projects differently when working together versus working separately? And how do you maintain how do you maintain individuality while also being a team?
Tell the truth. Go on and tell the truth.
She the boss, man.
We hate working together.
We don't. Stop.
Yeah. No, we are very difficult. Look, I'll put it this way. I am difficult to work with because I demand, even from him, a level of expertise, right? And if I feel like I'm not getting it from him, I do push back. We have these conversations. So I always go back to, like, my corporate experience. The one thing people could always say about me was I was fair. I was a bitch, but I was fair, right? And I do the same thing with our business, because D isn't the only narrator that I work with. So I have to be fair across the board. And sometimes, like, when I take off the business hat and I become wifey, like, he'd be like, oh, you was dead wrong for not giving me that shit. And I'd be like, hold up, because am I wifey, or do I have to wear the business hat? And in that respect, the challenging piece of it, we don't work well together, but we work great together to bring out the best in each other. Right. I am difficult when I'm the author and he's doing one of my projects, because if you can't bang out everybody else's fucking audio books but not do something for me. Like, I don't know where the hell we do that at. So and then you can't tell me you tired. I can't see you up here lounging and not in the booth when it's my turn, right? So like, I'd be like, nigga, what is you doing? You gonna get in the booth tonight or what? I ain't got no tracks to listen to. So he'd be like, I hate working for you. And I'd be like, listen, I'm the author right now. Like, get with it. And he'd be like, you ain't paying me. That's not the point. I pay in other ways. Nigga, get down there and give me some tracks. So we
Not
we
getting the
have
booth,
this
Tina.
Shelly,
we
get in the
have this
booth, Tina. Fuck you, Shelly.
Oh,
so
wow.
we have this really weird dynamic that happens between us.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Cause
really
we
it's really weird because in the corporate world we were both managers of people, right? So we both bosses, and I'm a win. Fuck that, like, but I don't be winning
no,
sometimes.
no,
I'm
if you
about to
don't
say,
get
That
them audio
that's what
tracks
be
in.
bothering me. It be bothering me that I can't win sometimes.
what
So
I tell you about that lady couch? Stop being delusional. What I tell you about that?
listen, yeah. So, but she's tough. She's tough on me, especially when it comes to her own projects. She's one of those authors that knows what she wants,
Mm-hmm.
and she's already when she's written it, she knows what it sounds like already, and that I think that bothers me a little bit sometimes because I think sometimes it takes my creativity out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's what I do. I give the authors what they want.
Mm-hmm.
If they say they want something in particular, that's what I give them,
Okay.
regardless of how I feel it should come out. But it's her, so we gonna go back and forth. Like we gonna go back and forth for sure. Cause I ain't gonna
So
lose every battle. Like, nah, fuck that.
you worse. Not. I guess it must be a man thing because he sound like Jonathan has. But this question is directed to you, AA. What was the first moment you knew you wanted to be a writer? And second part to that question is, what were some of the early influences to your writing style or that shaped your writing?
I knew when I was in the 5th grade that I wanted to be an author.
Mm.
Because I was a really great storyteller. Excuse me. And I was also a theater major.
Mm.
And I would come up with these characters in my improv class that, like, literally, I would carry these characters year over year over year, all the way till I graduated high school because they were so popular. And then I had created like the story around the characters that it didn't matter what theater class I was in. My
Mm.
professors would even say, "Hey, can you bring out Miss Jones for a second and have her recite these roles?" Or even when I was in a play and they were like, "No, we don't want your voice. We want the character that you were doing in class voice.
Mm.
Give that story, make her story this particular character for the play." So I always knew I had the capability of telling a great story and creating memorable characters.
Mm-hmm.
Writing that and being vulnerable was a whole nother thing, because in my mind I thought I was going to be a writer for comedy
Mm.
sitcoms. That was my thing. I wanted to write sitcoms because I think I'm fucking hilarious. Now everybody don't always get to see that part of me,
Oh, I fuck
but
some shit up, y'all.
I am quite hilarious.
Oh, there I go.
So
I'm back.
huh.
No, I fucked some shit up. I was touching some shit.
Oh,
I
so
messed,
I'm quite
I'm
hilarious
messing
in
stuff
my
up.
own mind. So that's what I thought I would end up writing. But I always knew I'd wind up being an author at some point in my life. So
Mm-hmm.
when the opportunity did come and D was like, "Hey, I got you," I went for it. As far as who really inspired me, there are so many great authors on my book case that I really can't tell you, I can't
Yeah.
start with just one. There's too many, because the art of storytelling is sometimes a lost art
Mm-hmm.
if we don't create memorable characters to me. And
Mm.
I know one author, there's one author and he's deceased. I loved Elin Harris's books. To this day, I am out there looking for Basil. I've been looking for this man with the hazel eyes who've been turning dudes out left and right because he was that memorable of a character to me.
Mm-hmm.
He crafted stories in such a way that made me have empathy for these people in his stories. So I loved his ability to, you know, bring you into the story and make you a part of it. And there's so many other authors who are doing that. When I tell you, I think we have like, I don't know, 10 bookcases around the house full of books, because I love a good storytelling. So I have, there's too many to name. There's so many great, you know, legends to people today. Like, I fangirl over everybody. And I sincerely mean that, because some of y'all are the dopest, you know, in what you do. And I don't think you all get the credit that you deserve, but you all influence me one way or the other.
True. Okay, D, this question is directed to you.
What's up?
Lord Jesus. Before I say this, know that if you put something in those comments, I have moderators that y'all don't even know that are moderators gonna take y'all out. FYI.
You talking to me?
Y'all not blocking me this time.
I ain't putting nothing in the comments. What you talking about?
Not you. People coming in.
Oh.
So how did you discover narration? Was there a defining moment that made you say, this is what I want to do? Like, this was it?
Yeah, I think it was actually, and it was that very first book. I went into it. I was real timid and unsure of myself when I first started. But by the time I remember it clearly, I got to about chapter 5 of that particular book, and I was like, "Yo, this shit is kind of dope. I think it might be all right." So I finished that book. I went through and I finished the book, and I was like, "All right, well, you know, fuck it. I guess that was fun, whatever." And this nigga gonna be like well, why don't you see if you like it? Why don't you see if you can just keep doing it? I'm like, what the fuck I'm gonna do that? Like, I didn't know what was out there. You know what I'm saying? Because it was really off of humbug. I didn't know what was out there. So I started doing some research, and I found ACX. And I put out a couple auditions, and I was like, really in the back of my mind, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna show her like this shit ain't really it. I'm about to get my ass back out here. Start doing my thing on some other shit. But I actually I got the jobs. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, well, okay, well, let's just see what's up.
I mean, you're a dope ass narrator. You know what I'm
saying? That shit was I really enjoyed it. I love that shit, so I kept doing it.
You dope. Even though your ass is like, you know, you like the older brother or the older cousin you just want to kick in the ass sometimes, but at the same time you want to kiki with, because y'all be cracking jokes at everybody else. That's how I
do. I ain't never did nothing to you, Storm. What I do to you to make you feel like this? What I do?
There must be another Storm. There must.
Nah, I ain't never been nothing but kind to you, man.
This is why he a narrator and an actor.
He done kicked it and shit.
Acting his ass off right now.
He done kicked it and shit at your events.
He got some acting skills.
Like interviews. Like, come on now, what I do?
You know what? I'm gonna go to the next question.
Don't make him stress you out.
This is for both of y'all. If you weren't doing what you're doing now, what would you be doing?
Well, the price of eggs, we'd be back in the 90s moving.
Listen, shit. Do you really want to know that on live?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. A whole lot of shit out there.
We gonna keep it PG.
No.
Honestly, go ahead, Ma.
No, go ahead. What would you be doing?
I probably would have got back into corporate management. That's where I was headed before this opportunity came up for me to do something different. To do something that I actually love to do. My plan was to just get back into the corporate management thing, because I left where I was, and then I started going back to school, and I was just gonna get back into it. That was the plan anyway. And after I found this shit, I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that shit no more. I really don't, because I didn't want to do it then. That's why I left. But it was like, yo, this is what the fuck I do, and we need to make some money. And Ma was like, nigga, what you gonna do? You know what I mean? So
Make some
why?
money.
Why I hear her voice in my head?
yo, so that's probably that's what I'd be doing right now. I would have been back in corporate management, going through the motions and bullshitting to get by. That's what I'd be doing. I'm sure of it.
I'd probably still be in banking. I'd probably still be a business banker, leading a team somewhere across this country, telling my counterparts that look like this what to do. And yeah, that's probably what I'd be doing.
Definitely good at that. Telling a nigga what to do.
Oh Lord Jesus!
You be doing that for sure. I believe you.
Listen, it paid. Hey, I got paid a good money to tell some white folks what to do. So I was, I go
funny.
back.
I used to love that shit. I used to love them stories.
So we often talk about Black storytelling and Black narration, but what do those terms mean to the both of you?
Well, so I have fully embraced being a griot. So the stories that I tell, while they may be controversial, they may be a little toxic, there's always an underlining subject matter that's there to get you to think a little bit deeper. Maybe have an aha moment, a self-reflective moment as to how you would handle this situation, or if you've been in that situation, what could you have done better, or what should you have done? I'm trying to reach a level of, can we have a conversation around some of these topics? And maybe the way that I'm doing it, like I said, I love toxicity because we don't have it in our personal life. I like to give it to my characters, but it's there to get the audience to think a little bit deeper than what I'm giving you on the surface level. And I know when people jump in my inbox and we talk about things and they tell me how certain stories have moved them, or they've been in this situation, and they didn't see how their behavior affected the other person until they read it in the story. That is the ability to tell, or to use my gift to tell the story correctly. If it brings the reader in, then I am literally living up to what my passion and my gift is. Like I said, I've known I've had this gift all my life. How I chose to use it, responsibly or irresponsibly, because there's been other, time it's been irresponsible. But the point being is I've embraced my ability to craft a story. And now that I know better, I'm trying to do better. And I'm constantly learning how to, tell the story in a more effective way.
So what about Black narration, D? What does that term mean to you?
For me, Black narration is I think what it really started out as, and what it really means, is that you have the ability to embody these characters that are written by people who look like you, who live the same type of experiences that you've lived, but you are able to bring those characters to life for anyone who hears this story. And that's kind of the art of storytelling in general, is that you're able to take this story and narration in particular, you're able to take this story that somebody else has written down, but you're able to bring another type of energy and another type of life to the story. And that's what I strive to do in any project that I take on. And I've always been like that before the narration shit. When I first started reading books, I would always, when I read books, I would kind of read them, and I would read them in character voice, kind of. And I think that carried on or carried over when I started narrating. But it's really the ability to kind of capture the audience, and we're talking the Black audience at this point, to help them see the story develop,
Yeah.
be able to envision that, because everybody doesn't have that ability
Yeah.
to do that. So
Yeah.
that's my job as the narrator, to help you if you can't do that, to envision what this character looks like, what he sounds like, mannerisms. So I need to be able to embody all of that. And in order to do that, I need to have some experience in whatever the type of character is. You know, whether we're talking street shit, whether we're talking, you know, corporate shit, romance shit, you know, love fresh niggas, all that. Like, you have to be able to identify and embody that character to bring him to life or her to life. And that's what storytelling is to me, just bringing this story into vivid scenery for anyone listening to be able to see this story and enjoy it.
I like those answers. I like
And make
those
it sound good too, because a lot of shit out there just don't sound good,
Nope.
right? And but that's another
Whole nother
that's another
topic.
that's
I hope
another
you- I hope
question,
you
and
got a
that's another
question about
subject.
that.
Oh, I do. I have tons of questions.
And I've got answers to that question that
I
I
wanna-
think, but you know,
I
that's
just want to
me.
preface this right now. I have been waiting a long time to talk to D and be like, have a real hard ass conversation about a lot of things that are behind the scenes when it comes to narration and just being part of the Black literary community. I'm not even talking about the non-melanated folks. Really. They might get a couple of questions in there about them, but this is really about Blackness, because the foundation, because you know, I always say, yeah, we can make a new table. Fuck that. I don't want the new table. I want the foundation. So the foundation needs to be solid first, because that's how they take our shit in the first place. It's not solid. But I digress. Do you
Well, look,
feel
we don't need to digress here. Like, you want to dive into it? Let's do it.
No,
we gonna
I'm willing to do it. I'll do this shit all day.
we gonna get into it, I promise you.
I've been waiting to do this shit.
Do you feel that the industry has allowed Black storytelling to be diverse, or is there still a push to box us in Eurocentric versions of ourselves? Good.
Okay, let me take the first part of that question. What was the first part of that again?
Do you feel like the industry has allowed Black storytelling to be diverse?
When it comes to what? General mainstream shit? Or
Indie,
what?
indie, and
No.
indie.
No.
Wait, indie
No.
and traditional.
No.
Because even though people
No.
be saying indie is included
Absolutely
in that pie.
not.
Yep.
I say absolutely not, because I see it, and although I'm not an author, I'm still a part of this industry, and I see kind of the shit that's going on and how shit moves.
Mm-hmm.
And no, my answer is no to that, because it's the same shit that happens in every other industry.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the book
Elaborate on that.
industry is not that much different from the music industry,
Yeah.
from the corporate industry, any other industry that they've built that we try to be a part of, or that we try to get involved in. It's always kind of the same shit that goes on, right? So you have to be built, or you have to have material a certain way that appeals to, either you're going to cross over, or you're going to be big in the Black industry, and then they're going to exploit you for that. Is
So-
what I see. So it's like, yo, no, we're not
Tag
allowed to
me
be
in,
ourselves. There are
tag
so
me
many
in.
different stories that are to be told in the Black, in our Blackness, our Black culture. There are so many different people. You know what I'm saying? None of us are really the same.
We're
Like,
not a
we're
monolith.
all
They
different and we all have different stories to tell. And sometimes as a culture, we need to be able to accept ourselves as well. Right?
part.
I think there's a lot of fucking shit that goes on in the industry, especially when you talk about indie shit, where there's a lot of back and forth of what's really real and what's not, and what cut all that shit out, yo. It's all just black stories. Let's embrace all the shit. Either you rock with it or you don't. You don't have to rock with everything, but we don't have to tear all the shit down either.
Facts.
I mean, just because you don't get with it. Like,
Facts.
yo, if you a street nigga, do the street shit. You a romance nigga, do the romance shit. But we ain't gotta fight. We ain't gotta fight about it. What the fuck we fighting about?
So, and I don't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah, you
first of
did.
all, they
I
don't
wasn't done.
no, they don't respect our stories, but they want our money.
Ooh.
Always.
They they don't want to hear about our blackness, but they want to steal it in every essence and every chance that they get. They want to replicate our culture without knowing the ingredients. And when I say that, is
So you get into some shit we was just talking
we
about.
I know
And now we about to get into it.
We would be kidding ourselves if we think that our counterparts do not read our books and then twist it to fit their narrative and then watch those same stories without our blackness, but our black stories on white covers, in front of the front table at these big box stores. We would be kidding ourselves if they didn't take the essence of what we're writing and remove the grit, the culture, and our blackness to make it fit and sell it. They do it all the time. We see it in our music. We can't even have where them fans at without somebody coming in here and whitening that up. Like, we done seen the videos. So don't think that our books they're not doing the same with our stories. We are the most powerful entity. We are the most powerful creatives on this planet. They are itching to tap into it without ever giving us credit. And that goes for our stories too. So when you say, are they trying to box us in? Yeah, they're trying to box us in, because the more we talk about our blackness, the more we share our stories, the more we explore our culture and our identities, the more we expose them for who they are. Like, and we already know they don't think much of us. They don't value us the way we need to be valuing each other. But they literally, if they can keep us confined and dependent on their resources only, then that's where they win. Because again, it's never our money. It's never our companies. It's not our foundation, but it's everything, the essence of our culture, our storytelling, our music, our dance moves, everything about us belongs to them. And they have the right to keep us boxed in as long as we continue to rely and depend on these outsourcing resources.
And well, let me ask you this, and this is for both y'all. I'm not gonna ask one question to one, because I want to hear what you think about both of y'all. So, in narration, do you feel there's pressure for Black narrators to sound a certain way, to avoid certain styles to be accepted by mainstream audience?
Can I tap in first? So, I'm going to say it's not that there's a pressure for them to sound one way. When you are dealing with white companies or white controlled companies, you can only do what they allow you to do. Now, and what I say when I say that is, if they are doing a urban street lit book, right? And they will cast Black narrators to do it. In the description, it's going to say, we want you to read it straight. Give us your most professional read on this. Me as a narrator would come back and be like, well, can I give it a little edge and grit? No. That's not what we're looking for. Now, by doing that, they're hoping to have some kind of cross appeal with the book, but we know what it's about. It's never about our voices, because if they wanted our authentic self, they would allow us to say, if the word is nigga, we should be able to say, and that nigga, or he put out his gun and he shot that motherfucker. We should be able to say it like we would say it, as if we're telling the story as the way it's intended, or the author intended it to be spoken, right? Because that's how we read it in our head. Oh, that motherfucker pulled out the gun. Like, that's how we say it in our head. But when you get to narrating for companies that don't have diversity and are not for us, but are for our dollars, we have their instruction makes it simple and plain and cookie cutter. So we it's not that the pressure is there. It's they're not looking for that. So we don't have to give that to them, which is how you get to certain audiobooks sounding a certain way when we really were expecting them to sound like us. So I don't think it's the pressure to sound one way. It's just that it's not acceptable on those platforms. They don't think there's a cross appeal. And you throw in the fact that they don't care about us anyway. So why do they have to do something different than what our counterparts are doing?
I agree with what you said, but I got another take on it as well. I think there is some pressure there for narrators to do or sound a certain way, because when you're trying to appeal to these other companies, you know what they're looking for, right? So you do have to sound a certain way. The idea is to get the job, to audition well enough to get the job and give them what they're looking for. So there is pressure on Black narrators to sound a certain way when they try to dip into certain genres and when they start dealing with different companies and shit. Because we all want to eat. So I know there's some pressure there. I do. I know it is. Everything you said was absolutely correct. But, for me personally, I enjoy dealing with my people direct. We can make something that we really want to make and have it be super dope that everybody appreciates.
And
Yeah.
authentic
You know what I
to
mean?
the author's voice.
We can do that as a people. We don't necessarily need these other platforms or these other entities to direct us, right? We don't have to, appeal to these other companies. Let them deal with them. I deal with y'all. Let us deal with us. But I think we're starting to move in a direction where we're seeing that. I don't think we're all the way there though. I think sometimes we're still trying to appeal to another market, another entity, instead of just relying on ourselves to support ourselves. And that's just where I'm at with that shit. Like, yo, I'm gonna give you whatever you need. I can, you know what I'm saying? You want a street nigga? I'm gonna give you that, right?
Yeah.
We gonna do it right though. Let's do it right.
Yeah.
Like the biggest pet peeve of mine as a narrator, as a listener, not even as a narrator, as a reader, and a listener to audiobooks is, an author has a book and it's clearly about some street shit. Hood love, even. It could be a romance book. We don't have to categorize it. We got so many subcategories, man. Let's just let it be what it is, right? But they in the hood. They developing this love or whatever. He's a street nigga, right? And then you got somebody sounding like this nigga went to Harvard, right? I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I can't listen to that, yo. I just can't. It really bothers me. It bothers me as a reader, and it also bothers me as a narrator because, yo, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Why are we doing that? And it will be a super popular book, right?
Yep.
It will be a super popular book, and you expecting that, yo, this nigga about to body this.
Yeah.
And then you get this MIT sounding ass nigga. And you like, what the fuck is this shit? I shut the shit off. I can't do it. Right? I can't do it.
It's not. It's. I don't feel like it's an authentic
So-
representation of the author's work.
It's not. It's not, yo. And it bothers me. And shit, since we on the topic, another thing that bothers me is we go to platforms sometimes, but we don't realize that those platforms ain't for us, right? So although we may get a little bit of benefit up front, the product we get behind that is whack as fuck, right? Like I'm just gonna call it what it is, yo. Sometimes it's whack as fuck. I take pride in my post-production. A lot of our problems come on these other platforms in post-production. Why? Because these people don't listen to our shit. They not listening to this book. In post-production, you really have to listen to every fucking word that's being said, and you gotta clean shit up, and you gotta do what you gotta do. They not listening to it, and they put a couple of fucking plugins on that shit and send it off and call it a day, and it sound like shit. I'm sick of hearing that shit.
Yeah.
Like we have to start at some point. We have to get together and say, yo, this is our shit. Like this is your brand. This is your brand.
Just like our counterparts, or we're gonna stop messing with you. That's how I see it.
But it's
Like,
also,
and a lot of times we're not even allowed to say who we want to do it for us.
But D, it's also, it's not just them, because some of the readers who listen to audiobooks be lying because that's their favorite narrator or that's their favorite book, and they will lie and put those reviews in there like this is a 5-star,
Yeah,
and then somebody who is from the hood or somebody who got it in their head how somebody's supposed to speak, and they listen to it like, bitch, what was you listening to? You know,
you gonna have that.
I'm gonna say something. A couple months ago, we had old girl on YouTube reading our stuff, right? And she had over 7,000 active followers, right? Who would tune in to her create piracy and theft, right? I listened to what she was doing, right? People stood behind her because that's what they want when they listen to our books. No, listen, that's what they want when they listen to our books. I'm not agreeing with what she did. By no means, people. I'm not agreeing, because she had my shit too. I'm not agreeing to it. What I'm simply saying is sometimes you have to listen to the readers, and not just the loyal listeners, but the people who are trying to tap in to you on other platforms. If you write a certain genre, when I want romance, I want to hear the lovely fluffy stuff when I'm, it's on my ears. When I tune into something a little more grittier, I need them characters to pop the same way they would on the romance side. So putting the right voices behind your characters does matter. And all I'm saying is, if we're going to be on a platform, two things need to happen. One, as an author, you need to listen to audiobooks, more specifically, your audiobooks. And two, you need to have in mind what it is that you want and how you want these voices that you're going to hire to represent your brand. Because what you don't want, and I'm never saying it's the narrator's fault. It happens in post-production too. Like Dee said, they add add-ins on and say, this is gonna sell because of who the author name is, and they never put any respect on the audio quality, the sound of the voices. They don't take the mistakes out. I'm listening to an audiobook now, and I'm not counting mistakes, but I hear the mistakes. Like, the story is that good that I'm willing to overlook it.
Yeah.
So I'm in it now. But the point being is, if it was our counterparts, they would never allow this stuff to go. They would take their time and put out quality work for them. All I'm saying is, if we're not demanding that they put out quality work for us, if we're not demanding that, you know, they take their time and match us up correctly with the right narrators, if they can't as much as clean up some of the mistakes that are in there that should have happened in post production, then why are we messing with them? Why are we allowing them to treat us this way? It cannot just be for the check. It just can't be anymore, because that's an extension of your brand. The other thing is, if you're trying to continue to build the audio platform, like this is why people are turned off to it. This is how old girl over there got to be so successful.
That's what bothers
Doing
me
what
the
she was
most.
doing is because, she's giving our readers what they want, and they're not willing to pay for something that's subpar. So you got to play devil's advocate there. I'm not saying what that chick did. I'm gonna call her something else. What she did was okay. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I truly do understand, because as an avid audiobook listener, some of our stuff is fucked up. I'm not afraid to say that. It's fucked up. And if you as an author can't listen to your own work to figure out how to have improvements with the next book, we're going to be stuck in this cycle depending on platforms that don't give a damn about us. We got to do something different. We have to change our own narrative.
Yeah. So the thing that one of the other things that bothers me the most is kind of what AA touched on, is when authors are, they have a certain book out, but they're not really looking at who is going to portray the character in the right manner. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't want to hear this nigga pronouncing everything correctly when this is supposed to be a street dude. Like, we don't talk like that. This dude ain't gonna talk like that. Or if this nigga's corporate, it's vice versa, and this nigga can't, he can't put a correct sentence together, far as what mainstream America sees as a correct sentence to save his life, right? So, but that shit is important. It's not just about the name.
Yeah.
It's not just about a name. You really have to pick a narrator who's right for that particular book. If you're a person that crosses multiple genres, I expect you to have multiple narrators, right? You should investigate. You should look into this different stuff, because there's a lot of us out here, narrators, who narrate our shit as Black folks. I think that do a really dope job. There's so many of us out here, and we need to start looking at ourselves to sustain ourselves.
Do you think the publishing industry has, how can I put this? Do you think the publishing industry has a way of presenting success in ways that can be misleading for Black and POC creators?
Of course.
Creators.
Of course. Society does in general.
But listen, what is the biggest illusion of success you ever encountered?
Illusion of success?
Illusion of success.
In this industry?
In this industry.
I think for me, I'll take this one. I'll take this one first.
Go ahead.
I'll take it first. I think the biggest illusion of success for me was simply number of audiobooks that somebody does. Like, as a narrator, right? Like, when you first get into this, and you don't know really anything about it, which I didn't. Like, I mean, I was green as fuck. But so you have a tendency to see or hear certain names, and they may have a stream of audiobooks attached to the name. And that it really does not equate to success. First off, let me back up. Let me define success for me.
Okay.
Success for me is strictly what the fuck I say it is. That's really what it is. I determine what success is for me now, today. In general sense, we are all trained that success means other things. So getting into this, success meant, oh man, I gotta work with, I got that really does not equate to success, because what I've learned is that, you know what? We're all in the same game and we're all grinding and we're all struggling. There are some elites. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some elites in this game that look like us. And they've been in it though for quite some time. And they've had to jump back and forth. And I can see it right now. Some people may not see it, but I can see it. Where some are kind of jumping back over, like, hey, I need to get back with my people too. You know what I mean? Like, but they are successful. Like,
So
one in particular I'm thinking of is my favorite, right? Has done everything. Video games, all kind of shit, commercials, audiobooks, everything you can think of as a voice actor. He's a true voice actor, right? One of my favorites.
Who?
But I've noticed that he's coming back around in the last year or two and connecting with us.
Who?
And I love him even more for that.
Who, nigga?
I'm not gonna say the nigga name out here like that.
it's Sean.
If you want to talk private, my
Sean,
nigga.
y'all.
Oh
If
my
you want to
God,
talk private, my
I was
nigga.
about to say Sean, but I had
can
to
do
do
He's
that.
a fan of Sean. Listen,
I'm a big fan of Sean.
listen.
I
That's my
am
nigga.
too. All you had to do was say Sean.
I'm
Listen.
a huge fan. I don't like to put
D.
people's name out there like that, though.
Nigga.
If they don't want their name out there like that, you know what I'm saying?
D,
So
you a hater. Let
I'm
me
not
answer
a
this
hater.
question.
Why the fuck am I a hater?
No, listen.
Sean's my guy, but I
No,
have
I'm not
noticed
talking about
that
Sean.
I-
What the question was? Say the question again.
Jesus.
the success shit. How did you?
I
was the
said
success shit?
I said the
What was your
publishing
delusion of success? My delusion of success was you have to
Well,
be
you
at a
can't
certain
just
level
say you just
and
can't
do a certain
put
amount
out
of audio.
there,
But stop fucking
success
cutting
is
me
what
off,
the fuck
lady.
I think it is. You got to define how you're looking at success so that we can understand how you come to your conclusion. What I'm simply saying is, listen,
I was trying to do that for you to cut me
the
off, yo.
illusion is
There we
for
go.
me that you
You
gonna
just cut me
write.
right the fuck off.
Listen.
Fuck me. I ain't shit on this platform. Fuck it.
Listen, Lewis,
I'm about to light up.
Johnny.
Johnny.
What my husband named Jonathan? He said, yeah.
Listen, the way I look at it is the illusion is you're gonna make a whole lot of money and you're gonna be famous overnight, and Oprah's gonna call you, right? The fact of the matter is that there'll be pockets and moments of success.
Take that out your mouth on here.
They'll don't get her banned. They will. There's pockets of success that could happen. But it's up to you how to sustain that. So I always tell people, whether you're a narrator or an author, do it for the love of what you do and not necessarily for the amount of money you think that you're going to get.
I told your ass that.
Yeah, you did. And that's become my mantra. Is
they just sent me a notice said, do you want to remove D. Lewis? See, I told you.
What I do?
You can't light up.
You can't have it even showing.
Again. Look, man, fuck these niggas, man. Look. So, can I finish my shit?
No, next question.
Lord Jesus.
I ain't fucking with y'all.
Do y'all think that the current industry goalposts can be moved, or is it time to build something entirely new? If so, what does that look like?
Well, I don't think we should be playing by anybody else's standards other than ours. Yeah. So I'm for creating our own arena for all of us to be successful and have the opportunity to be heard and seen as creatives. Like I don't want us playing with our counterparts because the field is never leveled. It's never designed for us to win. We can participate, but winning is kept at a minimal. And you notice that how they always pit us together. Especially I'll use design for example. When we go to upload a book there's 3 real categories that they define all of our books in order to figure out, for me, I write a lot of dysfunctional family. In order for me to get to that category, it doesn't automatically pop up. I got to go searching for it. And it's usually found in my white counterpart space.
Damn.
So we got 3 categories, 4 maybe. I'd be pushing it if I say 5, but definitely 3 core categories that they try to put all of our books in. We're never going to win. You could have the best written book out there, and we're all fighting for this number 1 or the top 10 space. And every day, twice a day, 3 times a day, that our position changes. Where when you look at some of the space that our other writers have, they got 101 categories. That means there's enough success and subcategories. There's so many categories that we could win in, but they like to keep us confined to just those 3. So it is never designed for us to win. None of these platforms want to see us succeed. They want to give us pockets of what looks like success. They'll give us just enough money to keep us participating, but they're never going to give us the crown. We saw that with the way they treated Jacquel J. When she, that was a big movement. They should have said, hey, for the first time ever, an Black indie author has this spot. And then it was like, we was hyping it up more than, that was an achievement. And yeah, the yellow plaque means something. But that should have been a write-up. That should have been a look what you could do to motivate us to stay with the platform. It's not designed for us to win. And I know that they could have done something like that because I've seen it done for our other counterparts. I've seen it done for, BIPOC authors, but not for the Black space. So I'm paying attention to that. Like, it's not designed for us to win. We need our own. We need our own.
Do you got something to say?
No, I got something to damn say.
Go ahead, D.
No, I think it's a matter of, they are so used to us being so reliant on their shit that it's just second nature for them to just shit on everything. You know what I mean? Like, we actually create the fucking goalpost. We create all the shit. Every fucking thing in this so-called American culture comes from Black folks. Everything that's popular in it anyway. You know what I mean? So to keep us always sidelined and to always have us striving to meet some fucking goal that they pull up out of their ass all the time that they don't measure themselves against is bullshit. Yeah, we should have our own shit. Absolutely, we should have our own shit. Why? Because fuck them. This shit is about us. We don't have to be a part of none of their shit.
True.
Like, that's how I feel, honestly, with everything. We don't have to be a part of none of their shit. These motherfuckers want to bring segregation back. Thank you. Thank you. Because now you forcing us to be about us.
Yeah.
How the fuck you think Black Wall Street happened?
Yeah.
It ain't happened because they welcomed us into some shit.
Yeah.
Or gave us the illusion of being a part of some shit. Nah, nigga. We had to do that shit. And we can still do that shit. We never had to stop doing it.
Yeah.
But we did. We can get back to that shit just as easy. We should have our own shit. We can make our own standards, all that.
So what are practical ways Black writers and narrators can reclaim ownership of their work and their audiences?
First, we need to start supporting each other. That's first and foremost. And there's a lot of support out there, but it's still segregated within genres. Right? That's what I see. Like there's a lot of segregation within genres out here. And you know what? It's all black lit. Let's embrace it all. Let's love it all. Whether you can read it or not, it don't matter. It can still be dope. You can still support it. You can still promote it. We need to get some people who are business savvy within the industry to come together and say, hey, you know what? What do we have to do to make our own platform strictly for us? And we're going to strictly solicit us. You know what I'm saying? It just starts with simple shit like that.
Yeah.
And I see that shit blowing up. I see it blowing up, especially in today's
is
climate.
one of those.
Excuse me?
Create this. I was saying, Storm's platform is one of those platforms where you're creating that safe space for us to come together and have, open conversations and talk about our successes and share our stories. I think that it can be done. I think that in order for us to be successful in doing that, we have to want ownership, right? And sometimes ownership isn't easy. And I go back to it's just like trying to buy a house. You got to put some work into it. Sometimes it takes small steps to clear up your credit first, and you got to get in a habit of saving and where you place your time. I'm not saying that we just all run away from the big corporations, because that's not realistic. But if we do it gradually in steps and be disciplined enough to know that we're worth it, right? Like start with having your own website, inviting readers over there versus sending them to somewhere else first to support. Connecting with other authors, connecting with other creatives, sharing, stop gatekeeping. I can't believe it's 2025 and we still have to say we're gatekeeping information from each other, but be more open and honest about how we share it. I'm not saying that, you can't charge for your expertise. What I'm saying is if you know somebody who's looking for somebody, connect the dots for us. Right. Like I came to you and I was just like, hey, I'm looking for another editor. And you were like, did you know? And I was like, girl, thank you for the information. Let me go do my research and, let me hop on that. The sharing of information for us is so vital. That's the only way that we're going to be successful. And then it grows from there, because the same way we can do these boycotts of corporations that we're doing, for our Black dollars, we can do the same kind of boycotting of our creative properties if we are collectively all on the same page. But we got to start somewhere. And I think having the discussion and you asking the question, this is the perfect example of how we get there. And then, we take from that, your question, and now we start looking for answers collectively. And then we come to an agreement on how we going to move about doing some things. Because the only way to hurt them is, and to gain our ownership of our properties back is to take it away from them, to hurt them where it hurts, and that's in the pocket. And if they no longer have ownership of our creativeness, then that makes them take notice. And I'm not saying we want them to treat us better, because every time we demand better, they give us less and we still stay. What I'm saying is take ownership away and have them lose that bottom dollar from us. And what we're doing is we're gaining it back. Not only do we have ownership, but now we have power and money, because we're keeping it circulating amongst ourselves.
So what is an industry standard or practice that you think needs to be dismantled for Black writers, narrators, and creators? Dismantled.
Damn.
Oh, dismantled.
It's gone altogether.
Altogether. We have passed the stage where we we'll take bits and pieces out and then we'll put in these pieces. We're surpassed that.
Okay, so, I'm gonna say something, and I know people gonna hate me for this, and I don't really care. I hate Kindle Unlimited.
Why?
Because it forces us to lower, as a whole, we lower our worth for pennies on the dollar for an opportunity for a check that may not ever come. So people think if it's on Kindle Unlimited, it opens you up to a wider range of readers, right? The percentage of readers that actually get to our book compared to our counterparts is so low because they don't necessarily promote our books that way. We have to have so many reviews before we can even get, on their radar. And even after you get so many reviews, you're required so many more reviews. And when I dug into how some of these platforms, how do they recognize us and put the success tag on us, I could never get there's nowhere for you to find this information. I just happened to have a representative on the phone who was telling me stuff. And I was like, can I write that down? Can you send that to me? She was like, I can't send you this document. This is an in-house document. I said, well, let me continue to ask you questions. And this was a couple years ago, but it's ever changing. Again, it's not designed for us to win. And Kindle Unlimited is one of those platforms. It's not designed for us to win. I feel like this. People who want to read our books will read our books, right? We're not asking for $1,000 per copy, especially if it's an ebook. It's what, 99 cents to maybe $3, $4, maybe 10 at the most. I don't know, depending on, however you're pricing your stuff. I don't know. What I do know is that if I'm going to spend $10 on something that I really want, I don't haggle about it. I just pay it. I don't go to Louis Vuitton and ask them if they got a discount code. I don't go to Ulta and be like demanding, certain things be bought down to this price point because that's all I can afford. What I'm simply saying is if we own the rights of our stuff and it's on our website and we're training our readers to go there, they will pay us. I do believe that. I do, and all I'm asking for is $1.99. Like, I think that's doable.
I mean,
because most people don't even realize when you get Kindle Unlimited and y'all return them books, it costs, last time I checked, this a couple years ago, it costs 50 cents for you every time somebody return your book. So if you only made 65 cents on that book or 20 cents on that book when they purchased it, depending on how you priced it, and you get charged as the author 50 cents at the time, is a couple years ago, y'all. So like 4 years ago, they charged 50 cents on a return book. How much money did you really make? Or did you lose money? Because if they didn't read all the pages through, you still lost money. So we're stuck in this cycle. Again, that's not designed for us to win. And that's what I hate about Kindle Unlimited. And you cannot find this information on Amazon or Design because they don't want us to know. And it's one of those platforms that sounds really good. But when I was doing the research to understand, how to elevate my authorship, and I'm getting all of this information, I was just like, are you kidding me? I'm so like, am I ever going to win here? So I don't think the readers think it's great, but it's really not even great for you, especially with all the changes they're coming down. That's the one thing I would get rid of. Long story short.
What about you, D?
Repeat that question, please.
Shut.
No, seriously.
No, I was saying with the industry, in industry standards and practices, what do you think needs to be dismantled for Black authors, narrators, and Black creatives to thrive?
Oh, goddamn. Y'all gonna hate me for this. I know it. But whatever. I don't give a fuck. Look, I think what needs to be dismantled is the way we, as a people, approach business.
Elaborate on that.
I think what really needs to change is that because, you got these platforms available to us, say, like ACX, right? I'm speaking as a narrator right now. As a narrator, ACX is never going to be your friend. Not as you starting out, because why? Nobody's paying for anything. Nobody's paying you for anything up front. You audition for this job. Say if you're doing it on royalty share, right? You audition for this job. You get the job. Let's say the book don't sell shit. You put in all this time and effort and you did not get paid a fucking dime. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't serve a purpose, because as you're just starting out, I think ACX is a good platform to get practice in, right? Sharpen your skills, shit like that. But to strictly want to go with a platform like that all the way through, nah, we can't do that. We can't do that. We got to change the way we think about business sometimes, right? And I think as well, on the flip side, you got platforms like Podium, right? I think that hurts the narrator space a lot, because although narrators actually get paid to do those jobs, the authors, I think, are getting the short end of the stick, because we got a lot of really, really, really popular stories in our community, and they're paying for the rights of these stories. And once they pay for the rights to those stories, they choose who they want to narrate it. They choose who they want to produce it. It may not come out right. Most of the time, it don't come out right. You know what I'm saying? So it can hurt the narrator brand, but it can also hurt the author brand as well. And it hurts the audiobook brand, because us as Black folks, I hate to hear, I cringe sometimes when I hear Black folks say I don't listen to audiobooks because they don't sound right. And I know exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah, because if you put me to sleep, I'm
And to try to convince them otherwise is like you in a fight for your life. You know what I mean? And a lot of that is because of how we've approached business on our end, to where we feel like we need these other platforms and entities to get our stuff out there and succeed. And I don't think we rely enough on our own will and our own selves to be able to do that. Like, you know, a lot of the popular shit out there right now, like some of the super popular shit out there right now, right? You can throw a couple author names out there and you're like, yo, we know them books. We made that shit popular. They didn't want it until it got to a certain level. You don't think as an author, you could have came to someone that looks like you to produce this shit, and you might have made a couple of dollars because they paid you for this story, but now they own all the rights, so you don't make no more money on that. Not on the audio, you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gave up that piece of it, but you didn't look long term, because the shit was super popular. And if you would have had that shit done right in audio and made it super dope, that's double the cake. You see what I'm saying? You make that money back.
Can I share my example that I told you?
We just look a little, hold on, let me finish this thought. I'm gonna be done real quick. We just look a little short term, especially when it comes, for my opinion, when it comes to audiobooks, that we think it's expensive. And it's an investment for sure.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just gotta get with people that are willing to work with you, yo.
Yeah.
Like, yo, we all in this together. We all trying to succeed. We all trying to come up. Let's come up together. We really don't need them to do that.
Yeah.
And so instead of putting out a subpar product and turning people off to a whole industry, because when that happens, that turns people off to the entire industry of audiobooks. And I know why a lot of Black people don't like audiobooks, because they hear it from these other platforms. And it's whack as fuck. I'm just gonna say what it is. It's whack because the production's whack.
I'm one of them. I just started back listening to audiobooks.
But there's some dope ass people out there doing this shit that are willing to work with all authors to get done what we need to get done, so that everybody's happy and everybody can win.
So I'm gonna share with you what I told D, because I went and looked up this one audiobook because I was like, I know it's selling like crazy, right? So I look at the numbers, and again, the banker in me was like, look at them numbers. So I went and looked at what they were charging on, Audible for the book. I did the calculation for how much Podium was gonna make off of this author, right? Knowing what they pay out for projects, and it does vary. It does vary, but at the base, and this is the base minimal, right? I think it's like they may pay the base times how many times that audiobook sold. This author would have made $86,000. But listen, in the base that I know for audiobook from my personal experience was $3,000, right? So you're gonna pay the author $3,000, and you just made 86,000 off of me, and you didn't even put in half.
That's real talk. That's real
You didn't
talk,
put in
man.
half
That's what the
work.
fuck they doing
The
to us.
production was subpar. They don't care. They know they didn't have to put any real marketing behind it because
It's so popular.
it's a popular book. But then, and so you sold your rights over for what,
got it while
5
it
to
was
7
hot.
years, and they paid you $3,000. And I'm saying that's the base. That's what I know. That's the number I know. So don't think everybody get paid that. I don't know what everybody else get paid. What I'm saying is, through my investigation, if it was $3,000 that was offered, and looking at the sales, and at the time the audiobook was $14.95. It wasn't on sale. It was $14.95. Looking at how much, how many downloads it had. That's what they made off of us. So who really is being taken advantage
See,
of?
that's exactly what I'm saying. We need to change the way we look at doing business. So you could have paid $3,000 to get the audiobook done
correctly.
right? Correctly, and still made over $80,000 on it because of the sales. You see what I'm saying?
When I
Like we have to stop. We have to stop being so short-sighted about how we're looking at this business. It is a business. Like these other platforms would not be in business if they were not making money. Let's get that straight right now. If there ain't no money in it, they wouldn't be here. There wouldn't be no ACX. There wouldn't be no or Podium. There wouldn't be whoever the fuck else is out there. If they weren't making money off us, they would not be here, bro. So we really have to break down how we looking at our brand, how we want to present ourselves, how much money do we really want to make,
and how much do we believe in
ourselves?
Off of us? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
When I did that, and I don't know what made me do that, y'all. But I was like, get the fuck out of here. Hold on. I was like, let me make sure this is correct. And then I went down the line, right? I went down the line of all of the top books that were out that week and on Audible from that particular company. And I was like, I got so mad because I was just like, a piece of me want to call.
That's just us. That's just
I was like, that's just us. I wanted to call my girlfriend up and say, hey, don't ever do that shit again. Let me tell you why. And I said, and again, the best part of me is that I'm always gonna have, my business hat on for everybody. The business banker in me is always about the numbers. And what I always tell myself is that I'm never going to allow us to fumble the bag. Like, I don't want to mess up my bag. I damn sure don't want to mess up yours. But if I know something, and I did the calculations, and then I went to a counterpart who's part of that industry, and I was like, yo, let me ask you something. And he was like, oh, we make money off of y'all all the time because you're so eager to accept the deal. Damn. And this was a white boy, friend of mine.
Everybody
from college,
wants the quick bag.
Literally said, like, as a producer, I don't really have to do much.
And let me tell you something else. Speaking of
There's
producing,
no pushback.
Speaking of producing, The reason why a lot of these audiobooks sound like crap because they don't listen to our stuff. They don't listen to our books. They don't want to hear our books. They're gonna go there, they're gonna grab that file and they're gonna put a couple of shit on it and they're gonna put it out. They're not listening to this shit. That's why you get all the mistakes still in there. That's why you get all the noise and all this other crap still in there. They not listening to our stuff. They really just raping us, man. They really just taking it. They taking it and they making all this money off of it, and they not even giving us a decent product. She's listening to a book right now. Super popular book. Great fucking story. But it sounds like shit. And it
And that was
drives
the
me
very first thing
crazy.
I said. It's kind of hard to make this
It drives me
narrator sound
crazy
bad.
because I know they're not listening to our stuff because the producers don't look like us. The people who are doing the post-production on those books don't look like us. So I know they're not listening to the book.
And it was funny because on the production side, I've had companies reach out to us inquiring about what's Dee's process. Would we be interested in working with them? The answer is absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will not allow you to take advantage of any of my counterparts. My sisters and brothers deserve better. And I'm not saying having us be part of the team wouldn't affect that. I have no control over what they say and do once I sign that contract. So absolutely not. I would never, ever, because I now know exactly what you do. And this particular company specialized in taking Black voices and turning them into AI voices in order to narrate the stories. And I'm a humans only. I'm Black voices only. Like, so for you to come at me that way and then ask about post-production, then I was floored, and I was like, absolutely not on my watch.
Wow. Okay, so the next question let me take a drink because look, I already know people are gonna be like, I know who she talking about, blah blah blah. Let me drink.
I don't know what's coming.
Okay. Mentorship is critical in any D, shut up.
I ain't say shit. I
Okay.
didn't say shit.
Mentorship is critical in any avenue you go into, especially in narration. But sometimes the way it's presented is very misleading and they lack experience. What are some of the false narratives around mentorship that you've encountered in the narration world?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. It's a tough one to answer because I've really only reached out to one person personally for mentorship. And for me personally, what I do is I'm gonna sit back and watch for a good while, and I'm gonna see what's what and what's going on. I'm gonna feel the energy, and if it ain't a right fit, it just ain't a right fit, and I'm gonna keep doing what I do. I think a lot of people may make mistakes in just jumping into stuff based on name, right? Based on just feeling excited about it and getting with the first person that they connect with when they start doing narration. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of mistakes that can happen just based on ignorance, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that in a way of just not knowing what's all out there. I came into shit and I was just like, I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm gonna do
You
what I
also
do.
did some training.
And either they gonna hold on, ma. Shit, let me speak, nigga. Either they gonna like it or they not. You know what I'm saying? I think the first thing a person should do is come into the game and just see if it's a good fit. See if they enjoy doing it. If they enjoy doing it, see if people like it. Get your feet wet for a while, but keep your eyes open and watch and listen, for things that you like. Try to identify with some people that are at a level that you may be striving to get to. And I'm not just talking about a popular name. I'm really talking about credibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference in being popular and being credible. I think there's a big difference in that.
And sometimes, and I just want to say this thing, sometimes they are not popular in the sense that they think they are. They're popular in the delusional ass head, and so they make statements or do stupid shit. I'm gonna just get this off my chest before
we all know the deal.
Get this off my chest before I let AA speak. And I'm not in the narration world. I am not. But what I am is a real bitch. So what I'm going to say may ruffle some feathers, but take it the way you want to take it. This is my platform, my show, kiss my ass. Some narrators who have 1 to 2 books under their belt, not even the best of stories, they made the story worse just from narrating. 2, just because your people told you were good does not mean that you are good. I lie to my mama every day while I don't call her. So therefore, please. And 3, if you know that this person is just as new as your dumb ass in the narration space, why the fuck would you want them to mentor you? What, y'all both the blind leading the blind?
Well, that's kind of what that's kind of what I was getting at. That's kind of what I was getting at. Like, you don't.
One more. I got one more.
Shit.
And 4.
I was trying to stop you.
And 4, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say. If your whole tendencies cater to the other hoe that you're getting mentored by, y'all both are just stupid hoes. One's gonna get the come up, and you still gonna look like the insecure hoe. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know what the fuck happening right now.
Wait a minute. Let me.
All I know.
Oh Lord, listen here. I don't know what I just.
I don't know what the fuck just happened. I truly don't.
Listen. Whoo.
I think you know what's happening, don't you?
I do.
I don't know what the fuck happening. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Anytime you get a mentor, there has to be some experience behind it. And what I mean by experience is some longevity, some training, some somebody who's in a positive light within the industry, somebody that you can truly learn from and who can guide you with truth. And what I mean by that is, throughout my whole career, I've always had 5 mentors. To this day, I keep 5 people because each of them serve a purpose, right? So when in my creative space, I go back to my professors. And anytime I half-ass something, because I'll say, hey, read this chapter for me, I half-ass it, they're going to give me the truth, right? Because is there an opportunity for me to be better at my craft? Yes, this is why I came to you. But also they feed into me in a positive way as well. So mentors, and I take that because they have the experience and the credentials to back up what they're telling me. If you are trying to link yourself to individuals who do not possess the ability to make you better than they are, you have no business partnering with them, because the whole purpose of seeking out somebody to help you along your journey is because, one, I do believe you think that they are good at what they do. And I only want to learn from people who are better than me.
Stop it, Storm.
No, listen, if I think I'm the shit, then you must be, you gotta be heaven. Because if I already think I'm the shit, I want to get here. So the next level, I don't know, super shit. They up here. they up here. I'm trying to get to that plateau. And once I get there, I'm going to ask them, who else should I be talking to? Who do you talk to? and then I'm gonna keep climbing. Like, you cannot put yourself with somebody who is on the same level as you, because what are you learning from them?
Exactly.
What do you gain from them? If they are only 2 steps ahead of
You're
you,
just
they
partners
are
at
not
that
far
point.
enough on their
Girl, they're
journey
not
to
even
be
2
able
steps.
to
They
guide you
negative
in
0.
anything.
You're just
They're
partners at
at
that
negative
point.
0.
Well,
No,
not
and
even
I'm not
credentials
saying
with the catalog.
now let me say this too. There's I mean, I think there's some value in being with someone who you can come up with as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Right.
Not if they have ego.
But not as a mentor.
But I'm
Right.
just saying, if they have and this is a lot of things that unfortunately a lot of things have to do with ego. A lot of people, they have this ego, and then they see the people coming with them coming up, and then they surpass them. Even when they're trying to reach down and bring them up with them, they're so jealous and stuck in their ego, they try to knock the other person's success down. And that's what I've noticed, and that's why I had to take a step back from online, because but I'm just saying.
No, yeah, and there's you know what and in that case you just gotta let people go, right?
Well, this is a dangerous
just gotta let
thing
people go.
about egos, right? They get in the way of success, and they also tell the truth about who you really are at your core.
Yeah.
Because my ego is reserved for me. It's not for D, it's not for you. It's to motivate me to be the best version of me. And that's where it stops. I can't pull somebody up if my foundation is shaky, because we all gonna fall. And I might pull you up and you become better than me, and now I'm sliding. So how the hell is that how is that type of entanglement or union supposed to work? Like, in order for me to learn from somebody, like they are on a solid foundation within, the industry.
Yeah.
They have not only the credentials, like not even the catalog, but they have the training, the foresight, the longevity. They have the connections. They have worked out the kinks in the areas that I am kinky in. Like, they have gone through everything that I'm trying to do, so they can elevate me to get where I need to be. If we on the same playing field or playing level, and we're trying to come up together, it's great to encourage each other and be there in a supportive role, but you can't be a mentor. What the hell you mentoring to? And in the same, I asked you the question, and it's a basic question, and you can't even answer it. Like, that's crazy to me.
It is. It really is. So, are there barriers keeping new Black narrators from entering the industry, and how can we break them down as a whole?
Can I touch this one first?
Damn,
it's the authors.
Yeah, go
it's
ahead.
the authors. And I say that from an author standpoint. It's the authors. Because, listen, I get that we love our favorite narrators. I really do. But we need to widen our range of who we use. Like, we have our favorites. I have my favorites. Me and D argue over this all the time. Because, like, he's my favorite, but I got
motherfucker,
favorites.
I should be the only favorite, nigga.
But I got favorites. But as an author, when we write these characters, we need to be looking for new and telling, voices, so that our books stand out even more. There are so many talented, voices out there that if we don't give them a shot, like, do we really want to be stuck in a cookie cutter type arrangement because we're going with what's popular instead of what's new and refreshing? Because
it's real bland right now. It's real bland.
All of the characters all kind of start sounding the same, and that's not by design. It's because we're, as authors, we're not doing our part to look for things that are new. The same way we come up with these new storylines, we should be thinking of new voices that we can put on. Listen, nothing's greater than putting somebody on and watching them, soar, and it start with us. That's the dopest, drug out there for a creative, is seeing that happen, because you had a hand in doing something good for another creative. I love when I hear new narrators coming and shining a light on an author maybe I didn't even know had an audiobook out there. And then I'm like, damn, that's a voice right there. I can't wait to work with them. Like, we need to create that type of excitement. But I think it starts with the authors, because we have the control, or we should have the control to dictate who's going to be narrating our characters. And it's great to have our usual favorites. All I'm saying and doing is encouraging us to find some new flavor, because it's starting to get stale, if you know what I mean.
I want to talk to you about Bray.
Damn, can I not say this? I can't answer the motherfucking question?
You know what?
That one for both of us, my nigga?
Hold up, A. B. Why? Just why? Why?
What's going on?
Why?
What's up, man?
He got all this beef with me. I ain't even do nothing to his ass.
There wasn't no beef. I just asked the question, man.
Man, I need you to turn off the camera and light that spiff up.
I just asked the question, yo. That was just a question, man.
No, go ahead.
No, I did. I just wanted to add a little bit to that. From the narrator end. From the narrator and the people who, I think there's a lot of people who may be interested in getting into audiobook narration. And I think the encouragement is to just, if you think you can do it, believe in yourself. You know what I mean? Like, at some point we have to take, and I know I joke and shit and say I was bullied into it, but I still took the chance and I did it. Right? Sometimes we got to bet on ourselves.
Yeah.
And find something new and find something different. And I think there's so many of us as Black folks that can do so many different things. We are so multi-talented.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember just years and years and years ago, people saying, "Oh man, you got a nice voice." You know that? I'm like, "What the fuck you talking about, nigga?" Like, I wanted to fight. Right? Now I'm narrating and shit, right? So, but the point is, sometimes we really have to bet on ourselves. If you're thinking about getting into it, investigate it, do some research, talk to some people who are doing it.
Yeah.
And just try it. See if it's for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how you can get more fresh bodies into it as well. But the authors do control a lot of, kind of what's going on with who gets what. So it's not a knock on what AA was saying. It's just it's a collaboration with her.
Yeah.
We need more different people out there as well. So traditionally, I know that the voice acting industry kind of evolves from the traditional acting industry. There's a lot of us, especially a lot of the popular and dope narrators who have come from traditional acting, right? Whether it's, on the stage or film. But there's a lot of us who go through everyday life who connect with a lot of what we're reading. As readers, and if you believe you can do it, just try it, man. Go for it. I encourage you to do it.
Be nice, because I'm finna give you flowers, so be nice. I'll give you some Wilton roses, nigga. So but no, I appreciate y'all standpoints on business, especially Black business. Y'all both stand on it. Y'all never sugarcoat shit. I mean, D may come off saying it like a nigga. You come off saying it.
See, that's the perfect. You get the perfect blend.
But no. But y'all stand on business and y'all recognize real, and y'all also recognize those that, hey, you got to go that way, but you cool, So I appreciate that, and I think mentorship, not just in narration. You guys mentor people that y'all see potential in, and it's easy to be around people who want to see you succeed. And you guys are those type of people, and I appreciate that. And it's much needed in the book spaces, because y'all are like that for creatives, influencers, for narrators and authors and business people. Readers who starting businesses. So I appreciate that. Book clubs, all that shit.
Listen, there's enough money in this industry for all of us to be successful. There's enough readers that'll read them books. There's enough voices that'll, that'll bring your characters to life. My job, because this is me crazy talk. In January, I said, I want out this industry, D. I don't want to do this no more. I am done. I literally said that to him, and he was like, I don't need you to sleep on that shit. Because he was like, are you serious? And I was like, I was dead ass serious, y'all. I was like, I'm done. I'm so sick of this shit. Right. And I was going through some things. And he said, sleep on that, Ma. I slept on it. I woke up the next day. He was like, how you feeling? I was like, I was just talking crazy talk yesterday. I was going through some things, right? Because at the end of the day, I have too much passion for all of y'all. Like, I want all of y'all to succeed, and I will be the first person clapping for you. Because when my time comes, whatever that pivotal moment, for me is, I would hope that everybody's clapping for me. Like, I truly don't have any hate for anybody. I mean, there might be that one girl I talked about a while ago, but in general, I don't have no hard feelings for nobody. I want us all to succeed at whatever we're doing in this space. And if I know something that I think could get you there, it's my job as an auntie to make sure you know, or to point you in the right direction, or to, fix your crown for you, because that's the other piece. I can't talk highly of you and want you to be successful if I don't tell you about sometimes when your shit stank. Like, I have to do that. That's the win-win. And I would hope that you respect me enough to receive it in love, but also give it to me in love. Because if ever I'm out here, being foul, doing some shit I ain't supposed to be doing behind my brand, and you want better for me, I expect you to call me out on my shit. So that's the love.
Let your ass know.
Other than D. Lewis, that's the type of love that I have for the industry. So, I think that's become his role by default, because we kind of coexist together. And he's the first person to correct me and be like, Ma, get it together. And I'd be like, nah. And he'd be like, get it together before you do it.
Britt, I'm gonna get to the Johnny Chronicles, as I call them. I'm gonna get to him. So
I be doing this shit, man. Why I be doing this shit?
It's hilarious.
I said I'm gonna get to him. I didn't say I'm gonna do it now.
Okay, don't do it right now. Shit, warm me up.
So,
warm me up, nigga.
What was the moment you realized Bray was needed in the literary world?
Because there were
this
too
shit
many.
seem one-sided right now, though.
Well, because
You know
guys,
what I mean? You know what I mean?
he hates Bray.
This shit looking real one-sided
Bray
right now, my nigga.
He hates Bray with a passion. I'm gonna stop picking his light.
Yo,
He hates Bray with a passion
just saying.
because he sees what goes on behind the scenes in order to put this on. So when October comes around, he cannot stand Bray, y'all. Plus, he's spoiled. He got to be number one, and when Bray is activated, he knows there's he can't stop this. There's too many dope indie authors whose books were not being seen. And when I decided to do it a few years ago, it was just supposed to be me honoring, the readers that have been on my journey with me. And you guys heard the story. I asked 5 people. They didn't get back to me in enough time. I asked another 5, and eventually, we got to 100. The movement is always designed to connect authors and readers. I know a lot of people don't see the value, or a lot of authors don't see the value in gifting the books away, to be, because they feel like they're losing out. But sometimes what you gain is exactly what you've been looking for, because I've had such an open platform for authors to come and ask me questions. One of the top questions were, where the readers at? Well, I'm bringing the readers to you. You need to show up. You need to present them with your very best. Give them one book so they can check you out and become addicted to your pen game. So that's why Bray was so important, and how it's grown over the last 3 years is nothing short of, amazing support from the community, the readers, as well as the authors. Now it's going to keep growing because we can't always be free, and we've seen what happens with some of the piracy sites. I don't want us to be stuck in that cycle where we're gifting our books for free to, the 99% who are actually appreciating it, but we have that 1% that I can't stop them from gaining access to our material, but I can't also continue to support a platform of free books for us to lose money out on because they're stuck on those sites. So Bray has to evolve as well, which is why we get into my connection to the Boozy Book Tour as well as to the ICU reading group. There's a lot of things that are happening so that Bray can continue to connect readers to authors and authors to readers, but it has to keep evolving.
So why is it crucial for Black authors and narrators to have dedicated spaces like Bray?
Because we've seen what happens with our counterparts. The Stuff Your Kindle Day, nothing's wrong with that. We just aren't represented and asked to participate. There's a couple, and even that, did y'all know they stole that from another creative? Like,
Damn.
this is my thing. I have a love-hate relationship with design. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when the first year when Bray was a success, they reached out to me. We had a little conversation. And I was so geeked because I was like, this is going to be a great partnership. And then I had to put on my business hat. And I was like, these questions that they're asking me, they're not asking to be a partner. They're asking so that they could figure out how to stop it, or how to prevent us from being able to do this on our own. So I got hip to the game. So, but they actually stole that from another creative, the whole Stuff Your Kindle Day. We don't show up in those spaces. We're not invited to the party. They don't showcase as many of us as they should. And with over 5,000, 6 million books, 7 million books, however many books are on their site, it should be a Stuff Your Kindle for everybody. So, why can't we do it on our own? And that was the whole premise, is we have to, I'm not looking for a seat at your table. Yeah. I'm going to create the platform for us to be able to thrive, with the people who are actively looking for us. I saw a need and I went for it.
Okay. So events like ICU and the Boozy Book Tour, it also shows Bray's evolution from just doing a stuff, having the authors come on the platform. What made you decide to pivot towards more collaborative events?
Well, it went back to, I had known since last year that I wanted to do something different with Bray. Mm-hmm. I knew that, if it was going to continue to be a success, I had to look at it differently, because at this point it's a business, right? Mm-hmm. I can't keep asking for authors to give away books for free. They get downloaded, and now we're dependent on the readers reading all of these books, right? And leaving reviews, because ultimately that was supposed to be the gift back. Mm-hmm. Well, because there's so many books that get downloaded and, we're still coming out with new material. Unfortunately, a lot of authors weren't seeing the success that they had hoped from gifting. Mm-hmm. Well, if we take away the freeness and the other flip side of that, the piracy that's happening with these other sites, I don't want our stuff to be stolen. Yeah. The only way to do that is that I can see is to now we need to go in person, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I've been to enough book events around this country to see the struggles that are happening, at the book events.
We've been to them. Y'all niggas just left me all out the conversation.
I'm getting back to you. Shut up.
But they haven't. They're not as successful as they could be, right? Mm-hmm. So if I have the key to the readers, why wouldn't I use Bray to elevate some of these book expos, give some life to them, encourage readers to join, um, make it so that, you know, the same authors who show up for Bray are showing up to these events,
Right.
get the readers more activated and engaged. Because even when I said Bray is going to be doing some collaborative efforts with book events, half the cities that came up, we've already been in. And I was just like, where y'all been? Where y'all been? So that tells me that we still have work to do, because the same way in the grassroots efforts of promoting and marketing that happened with Bray, we need to be just as diligent with that, with doing our book events. So working with, you know, working in these partnerships and everybody that's on board, we're able to create this movement, right? Now everybody's starting to talk about these events. And I've been the one to share events, regardless if I'm going to attend or not. I just think the readers need to know. Like, if we're within driving distance and you have the means and the will to get there, then now you know you need to be 45 minutes away, an hour away. You need to plan, because these events are coming out in enough time that you can say, hey, I need to plan for this if I really want to be there. This is the opportunity to get in front of your favorite authors, to meet some new authors, to step into genres that you normally wouldn't read by engaging with these authors. The same thing that Bray was doing on a virtual level, we're now going to do it in person. And that's where I hope that people start to show up. And I'm starting to see people show up by their engagement on my posts and stuff, and the behind the scenes stuff. So that we're creating more excitement for the reading community. I love the partnership with you. And I woke up and was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna do this. Don't ask me twice, because I was already thinking, how do I do this? And here you come. So that was the connection. You don't have to ask me twice.
And I also want to say, I always gotta say something that I know is gonna get me in trouble.
Go ahead.
Y'all should.
You can't get right.
Anyway, nah. What I was about to say is, I think that with events, and a lot of times, we forget to not treat our events poorly, and then treat the other side the best. And you'll walk into Steamy Lit and be excited, but get the bare minimum for an astronomical price.
So,
but hold on.
Go ahead.
But you also will go to a Black event. Some might serve dinner, some might have teas, some might not have anything, and yet that's not good enough. You can't have it both ways. And I say this as an event promoter and as a reader. Y'all can complain a lot, and I'm not taking away from anybody's experience. I really am not. But what I will say is, you can't come to someone else's event after you purchased the ticket, or you know it's a free event. You can't come to somebody else's event and open your mouth on this here interweb and complain about not being able to do something, or as an author, complain because your click is not there. Because, baby, if you need your click that bad, you should have hung.
So this is the misconception about book events, right? The person who is hosting the event is going to promote the event. That's their job, right? If I, as the author, am going to show up somewhere, I better be doing some fucking promoting, people.
Stop sitting down.
Nobody's going to know this event even is happening if I don't tell people to come see their favorite auntie, right? You are responsible for promoting yourself as well as the event. What the host does, if she does anything or he does anything in addition to promoting the event, then they're a godsend. But trust and believe, people will show up if you tell them this is where you're going to be, right? That's step number one. If you ever pay attention, and this is me just dropping some gems on y'all real quick. If you are going to be at an event, like Navi's going to be at an event with me, And I know that Navi has a good following, and some of his readers might like some of my stuff. I'm going to link me and Navi up in my promotion, right? Guess who else I'm going to be there with? You start name dropping the other authors who are going to be there, and they go, oh my goodness, guess what? I saw your post. I love this author, but I'm coming to see you because you were promoting, and guess who else is going to be there? And now you've created some excitement. You
Hey, as a
cannot
side
be
note,
afraid.
as a side note, that bang is banging, girl.
Thank you.
Y'all too cute. Y'all too cute. But I'm gonna give.
But you have to promote. You can't be afraid to put other authors on with you. Because if, and the other thing is, if don't nobody know who the fuck AA is, why they gonna come out to see me? So you best believe if I'm gonna be with Jessica Watkins, I'm gonna put Jessica Watkins behind me. Those little details make or break
Shelly, you ain't
success.
shit.
They make or break the event, the success of the event. You have to be willing to share. You have to promote
The
everybody.
bang going on the whiteboard, man. The bang is going on the whiteboard.
And that I think that's all we ask, for events and promotion, because I think people have a misconception of what we do.
Mm-hmm.
We give you the space, we give you the safe space, and we promote the event, but we can't promote you. And that's just the same at the event. You can't sit on your ass and expect the readers to come
So
and
this
then
is
get mad.
so this. Oh, so
Facts.
listen here. Let me tell
You
you.
done got her
something.
started now, shit. Go
Let
on,
me tell
man.
you something. Because history and sales, people. I have been at events as a new author. So go, 7, 8 years, 9 years ago, as a new author, I would be at events, right? And I would be out selling at the same rate that my peers, my older peers, my old school heads in the game would be selling books. And the number one reason is because I smiled and I said hello. I did not have my cell phone in my hand. I was not sitting down. I could teach a class on how to sell yourself, because people don't have to buy your books, but they will buy into me. And it all starts with being prepared to say hello, to smile. You cannot walk past my table and look at my display and me not invite you over. You had no intentions of buying from this girl you didn't know, but once you get over there, you are going to become my family, and we gonna have some fun, and you gonna leave with a book. Happens every time. And I remember when I was doing the Detroit Hustle and Grind, my very first year, I had the old school heads coming over to my table like, what are you doing? Why is your line so long? Because I'm engaging with these readers who don't know me. So if I see any new people at an event and you're next to me, the first thing I'm gonna say to you is, you can't talk to your friends, and you need to put your cell phone down, and you need to watch the first 2 sales, and then make it your own. And I've seen people who were like, oh, she wasn't kidding. It actually worked. I said, don't let nobody walk by and they eyeing your book and you not say, hey, come over here, take a look. How are you? What's your name? I'm AA. Listen, baby.
I thought it was me, just me mugging niggas, like
No,
making
you
them
know
buy
what?
books.
You know what? It's authors that will sit down. Either be on their phone, or they'll be like, I'm so introverted. Do you like money?
People in this day and age, they do not have to buy your paperbacks, people, because we got audiobooks and ebooks. They are there for the experience. You better deliver on the experience. So if you don't sell a book at a book expo, it's your fault. And I'm going to say that and stand on it, because you're not ready to engage with the readers who are showing up there. I have seen tons of readers walk by authors' tables because they was talking to their girlfriend, or they was on their cell phone and not paying attention to the person who's walking by them. And they will keep walking by. All they want is some engagement. They want a hello. What's your name? What do you read? I got it right here, baby girl. Come take a look. Listen, I have sold to men who had no intentions of buying books, and then they read them because they had a funky good time at my table. Listen, people, if you go to a book event and you paid your money and you got on a flight, or you use your gas, or you stayed in a hotel and you don't sell any books, it is your fault. And I'm going to stand on that.
You know what?
You have to be engaging with these readers.
I just want to say this to the authors on here. I'm not telling you to come to the Boozy Book Tour, but I would love for you to come to the Boozy Book Tour. But we had two authors, Elaine Jenkins and Crystal Davis, right? They were at the event. None of the readers knew who they were. But guess what happened? They sold completely the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they were out there talking, hey, really having a good time with the readers. And then we had authors that just sat there and did like this all the time and were mad.
But you can't bash the book events, and I'm gonna tell you why. The amount of money and dedication and time that it takes to put these events on, is because the host is passionate about, authors in this Black community. If you start bashing, if you don't attend, if authors don't be engaging and making readers feel like, spend your money with me, come read my books, I'd love to be your friend. If we don't have that type of connection with the community, these events will cease to exist, and we can't afford that. We can't, because if our books get banned, if TikTok go away next week or in 2 weeks, what are we gonna do, y'all? We got to stay connected. And the purest way to do this is at a book event.
Yeah, Darlene sold out. Darlene sold out, and that was her first book event.
Mm-hmm.
She sold out. She had her table set up. She was engaging with people. She even had a giveaway, even though I won it. But she had a giveaway.
That's
but
crazy as hell.
Shut.
You got you do not even if you don't have the best of time, because there have been some book events where, like, there's some book events I sell out every time. I ain't even worried about it. I can take 8 cases, 10 cases, I'm gonna sell out, right? There are some events where I go to and I do sell, but I don't sell out. And I know the reason why, right? I know because it's not, foot traffic isn't coming in. There's been events that I sell to all the authors before the readers even come in, and now I don't have no stock. Like, I've been in those situations. I know why events are not successful. From a business standpoint, we don't do enough marketing. We don't do enough promoting. We don't get off social media with the marketing and the promotion. There's other avenues in which we can reach the community, but because some of us are not prepared, we haven't done the research, and we jump into some of these things without asking the questions or reaching out to our counterparts who have had successful events, because we're scared and we don't know. I dip in all of y'all inboxes, and nobody has ever really told me to fuck off. So you if you want to do something and you want to learn how to be successful, you do have to reach out to people who have the experience. There's nothing wrong with asking, hey, your event is real successful. How do you do it? They'll be more than happy to tell you. So you got to be willing to step out on something that you're passionate about to get the information that you need to make these events a success.
Facts. So I'm finna give D some questions because
goddamn, thank you, my nigga. Fuck. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here?
So can we make sure you ask him, like, you can end your questions, but let's get to Johnny, because I didn't know it was that popular.
Man, fuck Johnny. What you got to ask me, girl?
I'm Johnny gonna be next, but I'm gonna go on ahead. 12 Play.
Oh shit.
By Darlene Cottingham. Oh my God.
Okay, 12 Play.
Had me and my husband looking at each other like, what? It's really deeply erotic and intimate and nasty. How do you prepare mentally as a narrator to be in such an emotionally charged narration and make the content very intense without going overboard?
The trick is not to go overboard. It's not a whole lot that I had to prepare for to do that, to go into that role. I love those roles, honestly. So that the role itself of Midnight kind of came sort of naturally once I read the book and I kind of get into, what the character is about and his mannerisms and all that. I felt really comfortable with the role. The issue that I had with 12 play was say what? Say the shit. Say it with your chest, nigga. What you say?
I said because he be role playing, y'all. No, just kidding.
Oh shit, nah, you ain't kidding, nigga. Shit. Hell nah, we get in it. But anyway, the issue that I was afraid of with 12 play was overdoing it. I did not want to overdo it.
We went back and forth on this, and he fought me tooth and nail.
Nigga.
I know it's your question. Go ahead. The people need to know.
Damn. You can follow up. You know what I mean?
I said go nasty, and he was like, "That's enough."
So I was concerned about. I was concerned about it being too much. We knew we had to do something with it because there wasn't a whole lot of dialogue in the book. The book was good, right? The story is good, but there just wasn't a whole lot of dialogue like we're used to.
Where
in projects between characters, you know what I mean?
We needed to bring the reader deeper into the story.
And so it was like, okay, how do we do that?
Yeah.
Well, we got to do it with some sound effects.
Yeah.
And so and my partner in crime here has knocked it out the park.
Yeah.
She really did. Like I can't.
Yeah.
No, I know. Like, see, but the thing is though, man, like y'all be talking about her shit, man. But I'm like 90% of the book, my nigga. So when nobody's saying shit about my shit.
You did not say the question.
I was feeling some kind of way,
you?
my nigga. I really was. I was like, yo, these motherfuckers really like what? Like she come out for like 5 minutes for 5 minutes in the book, and they like, hey,
look, sir.
I'm talking. I'm gonna finish my talk. You ain't about to cut me off.
On my show,
you're like, hey.
But people didn't.
She bodied it. She bodied it.
Narrate.
No. Listen, no, for real fact. She bodied it. She gave it really exactly what it needed. She gave it exactly what it needed, along with the narrative part. And so that book came out to me so fucking good.
Listen, if your erotica book
fucking
is
good
not
to
doing
me.
that, I don't want to read it no more.
I was listening to a piece of that book for weeks after I finished it because it was just my get up and go. I was like, this shit is so fucking dope. We did this shit. And this is dope. And everybody need to hear this shit. I'm like, if motherfuckers don't like this, fuck them niggas, man. Like, cause this is what it's about.
And if you're looking for it, it's on Darlene's
that book it was so fucking good. That's one of my I think that is definitely one of my favorites.
I'm gonna say it's that one and Mo's book.
One Still Ain't Enough.
Yeah, One Still Ain't Enough and 12 Play. Because I have 3 favorites. I have the 12 Play. I have the One Still Ain't Enough, and I have Isla's book narrated by Jackie. Those besides Miles Washington and Tessa Stone books, but those are my tops this year.
Give me that.
That's his Miles Washington.
Now take this. Yeah. That's my dude. Yo, Miles is my dude. I'm about to work with him soon too. He don't know it, but we gonna work soon together.
That's bro. That's bro right
but
there.
no, Mo's book was definitely a production.
Yeah.
That book was a production, and I don't think I know people who haven't read the book or listened to the book know how many different characters are actually in that book. And all of them have their own distinct voices. I've never done a book to that magnitude where there's that.
There was 11 million characters.
I'm like, yo, and we get into the middle of the book and it's like, yo, who the fuck is this? Like, where this nigga come from? Like Mo is just, she's a dynamic writer, and
Uh-huh.
she just kept it coming with the characters, and they all intertwine. And we're gonna be doing something with her again soon. We're gonna be doing One Is Enough
Oh,
for her. So I think we're gonna be doing that one pretty soon. So
so let me ask you this. This is for you, D.
yeah. Hell yeah, I'm liking this. Seems like an interview now. Huh? What's up?
Nigga, I'm about to mute your damn box.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
How do you balance being authentic and having professionalism when delivering sensual or very triggering scenes in any material that you have?
How do I balance that? I just be me. That's me. It's
Mm,
all me. Like I don't have to prepare for none of that. Like I can read a scene and really be, I know if it's gonna trigger some people.
mm.
I know when I need to be sensual. I know when I need to be a hood nigga. Like it's kind of just, I've been all these niggas at some point. So what you gonna say, man? I chopping
No,
at the bit.
no, no. Wait a minute, because there have been scenes. There are scenes. Like if you live in the Lewis household and you, because with every project, D reads everybody's book in its entirety. So by the time you actually were done with a project, he's read your book about 6, 7 times, listened to it about 7 times. He knows your book inside and out. There are some books that we've done where he's like, God damn it, I wish they would have told me this shit was in here.
Okay,
Because
is that what we
you
talking
do
about?
have to mentally prepare for some of these scenes.
Listen,
Because
listen.
and some of us write more graphic than others. So there are some scenes where I've seen you come up in stress and like, how am I supposed to do this? And we go through
I can
a
give
coaching
I can give a
session.
couple examples of that. I cuss Mo the fuck out
It's the Jamal scene, ain't it?
in the booth recording, I cussed her ass out. I was so upset.
And
And
then
it,
he called
it
her.
doesn't matter. You can read it in the book, right? But performing is different. You have to be in a specific mind space to be able to embody characters, right? And for me, not knowing that this was in there, I didn't have a problem with the material per se. I didn't have a problem with the material. I had a problem that you ain't give me a heads up the shit was in there. And so I'm trying to perform this shit. And man, I sent her the raw audio. I've never did that before. I've never done that before. No author has ever heard any of the raw audio that I've done. But I sent her the raw audio and I called her ass like, yo, fuck you, Mo. Cause this wasn't cool. I ain't with this shit. And AA had a scene in one of her books, In the Dark Side of Light,
Mm.
that I did. Because for those that don't know, I never read that book before I performed it.
He didn't like the subject
I never
matter.
read it. I did not read that book. I wasn't supposed to do that book.
Mm-mm.
Like I was never supposed to do that book. She didn't want me to do it. I didn't want to do it.
Mm.
But I
That
ended
knocked
up
him
doing
off
it.
from being my #1 fan, by the way.
So my first time reading that book was actually in when I was getting ready to perform the audio for that.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a couple scenes in there. I was like, oh nigga, no, I ain't fucking with you. You tripping.
But
And I came upstairs and let her know, but you just kind of you just get in the groove. You stay professional because like whatever I'm doing it. I know I'm doing it for somebody else, and you're paying for a service, and I need to
Yeah.
provide that service. And at the end of the day, it don't matter. The contract is signed, and I agreed to that, and I'm gonna give you my all, regardless of what it is, whether I like it or not. I don't even have to like the book,
Mm-hmm.
but if we got disagreement, I'm gonna give you everything I have to give for that performance in your book because that's what you deserve. You know what I mean? So it's still the professionalism is it's a business, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I have to provide a service for the authors who request me to do stuff for them, and I
But
take that seriously. I do. I
what
take
I'm
it
gonna add
seriously.
to that is it also pushes you out of your comfort zone,
Well, when
and
y'all
that's
do
where I
crazy
feel
shit
like
like
you
that,
get.
to do, yeah.
But that's where I
And I
feel
grow.
you give your
Yeah, I
best
grow with that.
performances is when you're not comfortable, because playing a street nigga, like you could do that with your eyes closed.
Not a street nigga.
Yeah, the street nigga. What I'm
I said I'm
saying,
not.
no, ex thug, um, retired thug, whatever you want to call yourself, ex, whatever. What I'm saying is there are some roles based on your experience that you do really well. But when you step out of your comfort zone, that's where I feel we get the best performance from you, is
Those are
because
the ones I have a lot of fun with too.
yeah, because
Honestly,
you had to really dig deep to do some of those
you
scenes.
know, another one I was really nervous on was Dear Vicky.
Why?
I was nervous with that because I had never done a psychological thriller like that. Like that was my first one, and I was concerned that I wouldn't capture the character right, and I bodied that shit. So, but that it stretched me because it forced me to do something different. It forced me to approach that. I approached that whole project different.
Y'all, he was watching me. He was watching me through cracked doors. It was so creepy.
Why you lying? Why you lying this shit, yo? What is
Nuh-uh.
he talking about?
Listen, he became Andrew. I was just like,
I
would you
did.
stop it?
Listen, for some roles, I do have to become the character. So yeah, I might have been a little creepy.
He
I
was.
wasn't watching you. I watch you through cracked doors anyway. I'm a little creepy anyway, yo. So let's not pretend like I'm
Did
not.
I
I watch you when you sleep, nigga. I just be staring at you.
lie?
Like you don't even know it. I just be staring at your ass. Like,
What in the hell?
imagine what I could do to her right now. But anyway. So sometimes you just got to become the character, man.
Wow.
So
And y'all wonder why.
and that's what I did for Andrew. I really liked that role too because it was different. It helped me grow. It pushed me out of my comfort zone, and I really got a new affinity for the crazy authors out there right now. They running shit right now. They bodying it, man. Like
I
that.
want
They
you
whole
to
little crew.
some of Brandon Massey's books.
Say what?
I said I want you to do some of Brandon Massey's books.
I'd love to.
That'd be top tier.
to.
I like that. So let me ask you this before I get into Johnny Chronicles. The immersive experience that you give at book events, what inspired you to introduce that part of narration into the events?
Who, me?
Well, let me. So
Say that shit again.
I ain't saying shit. Go ahead.
No, for real.
listen.
The immersive what?
Experience. Listen. What I'm gonna say is, for me, I am at a book event. I promise that it's an experience at my table. And I was like, how do I engage more readers? Because you'll have readers come up and say, well, I only read ebooks, right? I'm just here to see what else I can get on Kindle Unlimited, or I can
she ask
download
you this
from
question?
Amazon. Yep, I'm answering. So then you had the readers who were like, is it on audiobook? And I didn't want to say, go to my website. Mm-hmm. I wanted to say, yeah, take a listen. So I incorporated being able to sell my audiobooks and ebooks at book events, but also give you a sample to listen to. It gives them an opportunity to hear.
That's where I came in. That's where I come in.
And he kind of manages that.
I got the equipment and shit. Now, see, you leaving the nigga out. Listen, that's how I become immersive.
You know what?
I get into the shit. You understand what I'm saying? You understand?
Oh my God.
I get into the shit.
And I did willingly, willingly signed up to marry him. Like it was not forced.
Yo.
Okay, D.
It's different for me because the events I go to are mostly the author events because I'm supporting AA. because that's what I've always done. That's what I signed up to do. And I told her I would support her in any way she needed. That's kind of what she needed most. And honestly, I love doing that shit. I love seeing her shine and do her thing because she is fucking amazing. Honestly, I was blown away from the first event, and it's always the same experience. But when I started narrating, she started trying to figure out ways to incorporate the audiobooks into what she does as well. So we came up with a deal where, you know, I'll bring my computer and a couple of headphones and some books, and the software that I have allows me to have, you know, different tracks, and so I can have different samples of different audiobooks, you know, that I've done that the listeners or that the readers can listen to when they come to the table.
And the best part of that is it's not just my books. If
Yeah, I was
other
just gonna
authors
say,
that
I was
he's
just about to
narrated
say the
there.
shit.
Okay.
Damn, sometimes you gotta give a nigga a chance. I swear to you, I was just about to say that.
You know what?
And it's just not her books. It's like kind of samples of all kind of stuff I've done.
And I love that it helps promote the other authors that may be at the event with us. That's what I was gonna say, nigga.
So, Dude D,
Yo, what's up?
you listening?
I'm listening, my nigga.
Do you think more book events should start including interactive audio tables for the narrators, because most book events are just for the authors? Do you think that authors should collaborate with narrators that have done their books that are most popular to have them at the book events as well to bring shine light on the narrators?
I think that would be a beautiful thing for both the narrator and the author. Because a lot of people may not even know that you have an audiobook. You know what I mean? Like, but if you have some stuff there to I'm a fan of, you know what? Diversify your shit. Like if you're an author and you have audiobooks, you need to be promoting that. Even at traditional book events, right? Who's to say you can't do that?
Nobody.
And that's why we started doing it. Like, who to say we can't fucking do it? Like, nobody's doing it, but so what? Like, why not? Let's start doing the shit. And it's successful for us.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt that it would be successful for anybody else who does it. And if you can get your narrators to collaborate with you on that, it's a win-win for everybody. And see, that goes back to what we was talking about a little bit before. We can all build each other up. This is a community, man. Like, the way we approach business and the people we work with, like, that's all my family, honestly. Like, we got love for all these people, and we have a special relationship with everybody we work with. And so, yeah, every chance I get, I would promote any work that I've done with anybody. Like, it's like, why not? So, I think there should be, and I don't know how that would look, you know, so I don't, you know what I mean? But
give me a Shannon
definitely
time.
the idea is definitely a winner to me. It's just a win-win.
I'm looking at you, AA.
Listen, in my mind, I already figured it out. I know exactly how it works.
Because, you know,
I know exactly what it could look like.
So that's all I'm
in
saying.
my mind, I see listening booths that you can walk up to and just, you know, put on some earphones and listen to a couple narrators or narrators by genre, you know, see what they're all about, you know, have it in heavy rotation. I see it. Listen.
You know, inquiring minds and all. She thought I went to walk my fish. Okay. So we are going to get a little into the Johnny Chronicles.
Why we got to do this shit?
So,
for real.
So, how did that come about?
Well, I bother him every night, y'all. Like,
every
because he
night.
bothers me during the day. He bothers me during the day. Let me get on a business call, and you've been there. He'll be like, he instantly knows when I'm
What you got your hair for? You ain't been in no business call.
Yes, I have. We were just on one last week, and you came in. It was like you was extra, and you was like, "Cause I just want your attention." And I was like, I'm on a business call right now, and you was doing this in the mirror, and the mirror was behind me, and I was like, they could see you. He bothers me during the day, people. So I bother him at night. Now, again, I'm a theater major. Yes, while he's supposed to be resting, I am a theater major. I love being the the 50s voice, and the black and white filter was there. And we always say we literally should record ourselves, because there are some
Not while we in the bed, nigga, sleeping.
Listen,
I'm trying to go to sleep.
listen.
Like literally,
Johnny,
this is
he
not
be doing
a
the
fucking
most. Be doing the most when he should be sleeping. I would wake up and be like, "Is this nigga eating chips in the bed?" Johnny boy. And he know the minute I hold up, I got the filter on, that I'm about to bother him, because I usually go to sleep later than he will. He's always
way after I do,
bed.
nigga. Why you in the?
Yeah, so I come in and I'll be like, what the fuck is this? There was one time, y'all, and I'm gonna do this one too. He had the whole bag of grapes, right? And the grape vine was on my pillow. So I rolled over and was like, oh shit, because it's dark. And I was like, Johnny, what is this on my pillow? So I'm always using that voice with him. I just decided to start recording it because it started getting funnier and funnier, and I knew it would annoy the hell out of him.
It was never funny. That shit was never funny.
It annoys the hell out of him. And if that's what I'm here to do, then I'm gonna do it, because he gets me during the day. And I was just like, Johnny, wake up, Johnny. Johnny, are you sleeping? Johnny. He'd be like, if you don't stop talking to me. I'm like, no.
Like this ain't no playing skit shit. This is not a playing skit shit.
It is.
For you, it might be playing. I think I'm going to fucking bed, nigga. And then she coming to bed talking about some fucking Johnny.
Cookie crumbs.
I'm like, if you don't leave me the fuck alone,
listen,
out of here.
His reactions be authentic.
Nigga, go finish writing. Leave me the fuck alone.
I'm gonna be like, Johnny. I just turn it on and be like, Johnny, now listen.
Niggas is the worst, man. You are the worst.
And I told y'all that like it doesn't matter what time I come into the bed, he will tuck me in, right? So this one particular night, he tucked me in and like he hugged me real close, and I was like, oh, Johnny, now you know, like there's no pound time on a Monday night. It's too late for that, Johnny. He was like, if you don't shut up. I was like, there's no knocking the boots tonight, Johnny. Go to sleep.
Can't even fucking be intimate with this nigga. She take everything as everything's funny to you. Everything's a fucking joke to you.
It is. And I think it's hilarious, because now the grandbaby, our granddaughter, she'll be like, Pop. I mean, Johnny.
I wanted to kill both of y'all. There's a video. There's actually a video. There was a video.
Can I have some? She's like, oh, Johnny.
And my granddaughter's like, Johnny.
Boy. Can I have some chips, Pop?
I'm gonna kill both of you niggas, man. Leave me alone, man.
So I am going to keep doing it because if he bothers me during the day, I am going to get my just due at night. I am going to continue to bother him. I know anytime he sees that filter, he knows exactly what's coming. He should be happy that I didn't do it the last time we went to Sam's Club, but I was afraid he was gonna leave me. So I was like, I'm not messing up my ride.
I'd have left y'all niggas. You talking about when you was with Ladybug?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would have left both y'all.
I know he would have left, because she would have started in, and then he would have been like, if people in the store would have been like, what the hell is going on, Johnny? Because I pull out the voice anytime. I'd be like, Johnny, now you know, Johnny.
I don't even know where this shit came from, honestly. It just started one night, and I don't like it.
It's literally, we have so much fun together. What y'all don't see is, like, the minute I touch a pot and pan, he think it's time for us to have sex. Like, I'll be in the kitchen trying to cook, And he be like, "What you cooking?" And I'm like,
Why you exaggerate? You so damn
chopping onions?
exaggerative.
Nigga, get off me, right?
Oh my God. Every time you open your mouth, you lying.
No,
You are
I'm
so
not.
exaggerative. I hate your stories, yo. I used
Listen,
to tell you this in a
listen.
podcast. Every time she fucking tell a story, it's
I was
like
cooking broth.
wild as hell.
I
Like,
was
stop
cooking
that
some
shit.
broth with some herbs one time to make something, right? And he was like, "Ooh, it smells herby in here." And next thing I know, I was like, "Why are you undressing me? Like, I am cooking. Like, I'm trying to make something. What is going on here?" This man messes with me all the time. And listen, I love it. I love that.
Let me let you know I appreciate you.
I love that he appreciates me. I love that he loves my cooking. I don't want to be naked cooking though. Like sometimes it's grease
That's the
involved.
best
I don't
cooking,
want that
nigga.
I don't need that kind of exposure. He
That's the best
bothers
cooking.
me
You want
at
cooking
the
bacon,
most.
nigga? What you worried about?
He bothers me at
Like,
the
what you
most.
worried about? It's not like you was cooking bacon or
Inappropriate
fish, my
time.
nigga. Like,
Oh my
what?
God.
The most
It's broth,
inappropriate
nigga.
time.
Come on.
So I get him back at the most inappropriate times. That's all I'm saying. I will get you back, sir.
That's what
I
it
will
is. It's all about
listen,
payback.
Listen, I think I will pull out another voice for him too, because like I got Johnny. I got Johnny. Johnny, you know.
There ain't no other nigga in this.
Listen.
I'm telling you right now. They gonna see that phone fly across the fucking room. That's what they gonna see. Leave me the fuck alone, man.
I'm gonna get him tonight for cutting up on this podcast. You just wait until tomorrow. There will be a Johnny video.
I didn't even do nothing. I behaved.
Britt, put it on the whiteboard. Put it on the whiteboard.
What on the whiteboard?
Johnny, we were having.
Britt, don't put shit on your whiteboard, okay?
Johnny, we were having
whiteboard,
a good conversation. How many times can you say nigga? Like, wow.
I can say nigga a whole lot.
Johnny, there's other words in your vocabulary. I know.
Wait a minute.
Johnny, there's no nigga in the nigga room now.
Hold on. I gotta get something clear right now. I really gotta get something clear right now because I'm really afraid of this woman.
Oh yeah, right? He's afraid of Britt.
Right? So don't you fucking put me on your board, Britt. I promise. Don't you do this to me.
Cracking.
Don't you do this to me.
Listen, his fear is waking up and seeing him on her whiteboard one day.
Don't you fucking do this to me, man. No, I promise you.
Britt, Johnny. I'm
gonna fuck all you niggas up. Don't y'all do this.
Johnny.
Narrator goes on a rampage.
Johnny, the ladies can't be niggas.
I'm fucking going state to state. I'm gonna go state to state fucking all you niggas.
Johnny, are you listening, boy? Are you listening?
Don't you do this.
I'm dead.
Now everybody else want to chime in. You know what? Fuck
okay. We're gonna rein it back in. All right.
Yes.
Because I gotta edit this and this. We've been on this for a minute. What is the biggest mistake you see authors making when they try to create an audiobook?
What do I see the biggest mistake authors make?
Who was that for?
For both of us. Wait a minute. She wanted to know, did you get offended by her narrator video?
Who?
Britt.
No, I thought the shit was funny as hell. I'm a good looking nigga. I know you weren't fucking talking to me. Shit, I know you weren't talking to me. Listen, I thought the shit was funny.
He was like, did you see her video? I said, yeah, I thought it was hilarious. He was like, was she talking about me? I was like, no, baby, because you look good to me.
I know she wasn't talking about me. Shit, I know I'm a handsome ass nigga.
So,
but anyway.
The biggest mistake I see authors making is not staying true to their voice.
Yeah.
I when I have conversations with authors and they come to me and they say, hey, I want to do an audiobook, like I walk them through what the steps could look like if they're doing business with us, right? I want to be true to the way you wrote the story. The first question I'm gonna ask is, did you have a narrator in mind, right? And they go, well, everybody said, and I go, no. I don't want to hear what everybody is telling you. I want to know, who would you like to, when you wrote this character, you had a voice in mind. Is there someone out there who you think could embody this character? And they always want to go back with what the readers tell them, who sometimes the popular people are. And I was like, okay, the second question I'm gonna ask, do you listen to audiobooks? And they go, yeah. And I'm like, have you ever heard that narrator narrate a book like that? And they go, oh no. I said, well, go back and go through their catalog, listen to some of their stuff, just listen to the sample and come back and tell me again, because I know somebody who could do that for you, but it's maybe not that person. If your book was more so this genre, I would be like, I'm all on it. I'm gonna make a phone call, get in a DM, see if we can get them for you. I want you to be true to your genre and your characters. You cannot always allow outside influence to influence something that you're investing in. Because, baby, they ain't paying for shit. not up front, they not. You have to do what's in the best interest of you. Now, with that being said, because most people don't know the back end of it, narrating and voice acting are two different things. If you would like somebody to just read the words on the paper for you like it's a menu, we could do that for you. My job is to create an elevated listening experience for your reader, right? That's me helping to elevate your brand. What I want to see happen is for the shit to pop. I want it to be explosive. So I'm going to give you some things. If whoever you are talking to about your audiobook is not engaging you in a conversation and trying to pull things out of you, to kind of figure out what direction you want this to go in and explaining things to you thoroughly, maybe they're not the right person for you, because this is a huge investment. The other thing is, just because somebody can pay you for it doesn't mean it's the right fit for you. Now, I'm not knocking anybody who take the check. I am absolutely not, because listen, the way grocery eggs are right now, I'm going to take that money if I need that money. Take it and learn from that experience. Don't rely on that. Again, we're talking about keeping an ownership of our creative property. Sometimes you need to get in it to get with it, if you know what I mean. You take that check and you flip it and you do the next one the way you want it to be done. Sometimes you have to think long term in doing that and learn from, the first venture or the first opportunity to get to something great. And I'm not saying the first time won't be great with some of these other companies. What I'm simply saying is you got to be in it to win it. You just can't sign over your rights. You got to ask the questions. They need to be looking at what's best for you and your brand. And if they're not, then they are probably not for you. And I say that because we saw it. We had the conversation on quality of audiobooks and why some people can't get into it is because we're not delivering. It's because we're operating in spaces that are not designed for us to win.
What you got, D?
I think probably for me the biggest mistake that I see some authors make is not really choosing the right person to bring their book to life. Everybody can embody every character. I cannot embody every character. Right? And I don't think there's probably very few out there who can embody every single character in every single instance, right? Like you got to be an exotic ass nigga to do some shit like that. But what we see a lot is that authors like to choose a popular narrator or popular name, thinking that that's going to sell their book. And that they're going to make money off that. And that doesn't always end up as the case, because once the listener starts to hear it, the voice just doesn't add up to what the reader had in mind of the character.
What do I know?
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's probably the biggest mistake that a lot make, that thinking that just because they have a popular person narrate their book, that their audiobook is going to be popular as well. And sometimes that just doesn't line up like that. I think a lot of times it doesn't necessarily line up like that. So I always encourage people to just do your research, see what's out there. Explore different options.
So this is for both of you, for aspiring voice actors or aspiring narrators, Black, not nobody else. I don't give a fuck. what's one thing they need to understand before stepping into this industry?
It's fickle as hell. So don't come in here all sensitive and shit. You can't do that, right? Like anywhere else. Be confident in yourself. Be sure of yourself. If you're gonna jump into this and this is what you say you want to do, just believe in yourself, man. You have to believe in you before anybody else can.
Mm-hmm.
You have to think you dope before anybody else can, right? Anybody who we bring in any conversation about GOAT, right? You think Michael Jordan listened for other people to tell him he was dope?
Hell no, that man was a mean motherfucker.
Kobe Bryant, all these niggas, they knew who they were before anybody else told them who they were, right? So, it's like anything else you approach, you have to go into it knowing that this is what you want to do and that you dope. We are all dope, right? And you have to believe that first before somebody else does. And the more you exude that dopeness, people are going to pick up on it. People cannot deny dopeness for long, right? They can try, but eventually they got to come around.
Yeah.
So just believe in yourself. Don't and take it. Don't think you're going to get into this and get rich overnight. Nobody ever does, right? This is not a get rich quick scheme like, you know, you can see on some YouTube videos and shit or some TikTok videos or some shit like that. A motherfucker trying to say, oh, you want to make 10,000 extra bucks a month? Just get into, nah, nigga, no. This shit takes time. You have to develop your craft. You have to develop skills. You have to learn the business. And be patient and graceful with yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Everything has an ebb and a flow to it. It's the laws of the universe. So you're going to have some big pushes and then might have some drawbacks. But you know what? You just roll with it just like everything else in life. You just gotta keep moving.
Yeah.
This is important. Because I get a lot of people who will say, I want to break into doing narration. And my first question is, do you like to read? Like, do you like to read? And they go, well, maybe, maybe not. You need to love to read, right? Because in order to narrate or to embody these characters, you're going to have to read these books. The second question I like to ask is, do you like to read, or are you comfortable reading out loud? Because it's one thing to read in your head and say, ooh, I got a voice for this character. It's another thing to have it come out of your mouth. And you can have the best voice, but if you cannot read what is on that paper and have it come out, and that's even before you add the spin of a voice on it. If you don't read out loud, then this is not for you, because it only gets more complicated as the roles progress. And what I mean by that is you can go from reading something, you know, even if it's just the back of a cereal box, to now becoming Tony the Tiger. There are steps to this.
Yeah.
You have, this is something that you're going to have to learn to love. It's a love-hate game, because there's training, and I do recommend people do some training. There's mentorship with the right people. And then there's practice. And most people don't understand that there's also, there's the reason why I don't do narration anymore is because, I can't breathe correctly. Like with the loss of my lung, I'm learning how to breathe again so that, I can do narration. D will tell you, I get behind the mic in a hot minute, but you're going to hear a lot of, and it ain't sexy. So there are some things that you have to learn how to do correctly in order to take on these roles. Because let's face it, some of us, we heavy with the pen. We'll write a long ass chapter. And if you can't get through these sentences in these chapters without taking your breath in the right, right place, the right position, it throw the whole tone of the book off. Where you
need to talk about that shit.
God. Like, and he said, pause, because you can't catch your breath. There are so many things that you need to know how to do. But it all starts with Do you like to read out loud? Can you read out loud?
And sometimes you don't know, so try it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't know. Like I said, these niggas threw me into this shit. But
No, well, back up because you had public speaking and you did a lot of stuff with
well,
your company where you did presentations.
yeah, I had
Don't let him
experience with the
fool
shit.
you. He got bullied into doing this, but he already had a background of being a really good speaker. Despite this,
Don't be putting my public business out there like that.
listen, anyway, you can practice that. You can always practice and gear up to that, but you have to have a love of reading and you have to be willing or vulnerable enough to want to read out loud. And that's the difference because you can hear the difference when somebody has to read out loud and they're not comfortable. That's something that you have, that's that confidence Dee was talking about. You got to work up
Do
to
some
that.
and do research. Be comfortable researching the shit too. Like look
Mhm.
into it.
So, as you were saying about the long chapters and
Yes.
reading those chapters, what what would you advise new narrators who want to go in this, and there's chapters like that? How do you do birth control? How do they, lubricate their throats? Now, don't be nasty, y'all. That's a thing.
I thought you were talking to us.
What?
I was like, why are we gonna be
Wait a
nasty?
minute, time out, bro. Pause, my nigga.
No.
How do they what?
Lubricate their throats.
How do you? I don't know if I would have said that sentence like that, but okay.
Well, that was the best way I could do it.
Shit.
So in my formal training, what I would do to prepare is I'm a water drinker, so hot water. I drink a lot of hot water. I know people prefer tea, and there's some throat teas out there that you can definitely have, but I'm a hot water girl. So me and hot water.
Dan is a throat goat.
Well,
Coat.
it will relax your muscles so that you can it'll relax your muscles. I do breathing exercises, and I was telling someone just the other day one of the easiest breathing exercises, because most of us don't utilize our whole respiratory system, right? So learning to breathe from your diaphragm versus breathing from your lungs, breathing from your nose, breathing from your throat, and showing them exactly what that all entails. So that's the exercise. There's some vocal range exercises that you can do. There's a lot that you can do, but it's going to require you to literally do some research. Like what I'm telling you, you could Google it with the right phrases. You could dip in my inbox and ask me. I'll be more than happy to share that information with you. But there's a lot of self-care that has to take place. Like she said, lubricating the throat. But also learning, like I said, learning how to breathe is the biggest piece. And then once you do learn how to breathe properly, when you go to say those words out loud, practicing as your those breathing techniques as you're delivering those, so that when you do get in the booth, you can be like, oh my goodness, I'm not so tired. My throat really doesn't hurt as bad, and I was able to get through that lengthy ass chapter that she wrote or he wrote without having to pause so much.
Go ahead, D. I swear to God.
I swear to God.
What?
I swear to God.
Answer the question.
Nah. See, this is where the professionalism comes in, y'all. I'm a professional nigga.
It only took him 3 hours, y'all.
No, honestly, the best thing is just practice. There's tons of free scripts online that in different websites that you can look up and that you can just grab and practice reading them until you feel it sounds good enough for you. Don't be discouraged. Yeah, there's a lot of breathy narrators, but guess what? Post-production can take that out. Like, AA was kind of saying how her experience is different now in the booth because her breathing isn't right. I make it sound just fine, right? Because it can come out in post production with an experienced producer. So don't be discouraged. I mean, but the thing is, you want it to sound the way you want it to sound, and just practice it. Practice. Get with someone. Reach out to someone who's been doing it for a while, and get their see how they approach their jobs in the booth and their techniques. Like AA said, definitely she helped me with this one, trying to breathe from the diaphragm versus breathing through your how we normally breathe as individuals. Posture, I learned as well, helps a lot. Keep your chest up and your shoulders back so you can project your voice better.
Almost like a military stance.
You don't exude your breath as fast. You can control your breathing a whole lot better when you have a little bit better posture when you're reading. And it's not rocket science, but it does take practice. It takes a little bit of effort. But there's plenty of us doing it. So, but when all else fails, shit, post production is a lifesaver because sometimes I still get bad habits in the booth, and I got a lot of bad habits in life anyway. So, yeah, I got to take a lot of my stuff. I take a lot of stuff out. Nobody ever knows it.
Yeah. So, what events will both of you be attending this year? Shit. This nigga, not him doing.
Well, due to health issues, I had to cancel everything the first half of the year, so I was not able to attend the Boozy Book Tour this year. But I'll be back next year.
You won an award, y'all.
I
said you won an award at the.
No, thank you. And I'll have a video for you tomorrow out about that.
You just got that today.
I will be at the Gym Awards. I will be and I think that's June, July, one of the months. I will also be at the ICU Bray event in Detroit in August. And I will also be at Jessica Watkins' Chicago Urban Book Expo in September. So that will be everything for me this year. Plus, I've been writing, y'all. Your girl got some fire coming out. Let me just tell you, my family dysfunction is functioning, y'all. So I'm coming out with all new material, and I think it's set.
You got 2 books coming out next month, or one?
Yep. Next month is Uno and Dos, but then I got Fire and Smoke, and then I got the brothers coming out, the McCullum boys, and then I got my paranormal will be out in October, and then I have a book for Naughty November coming out, and then there's and the proposal, the last book in the proposal series is coming out in June. Like, there is a heavy, your girl been busy. I've been sitting here at home typing my ass off. And again, that whole little situation in January where I said I want out this industry, it lit a fuel in me, and this fire has been burning. And when I tell you I angry type the hell out of these stories. So I'm happy for you guys to be able to see the evolution of me and my writing.
What about you?
Well, shit, I'm gonna be everywhere she be. Y'all know that.
Books you narrate, nigga.
But I'm gonna go. I'm also planning on being in June. I want to say it is right.
The end of May, June. You're at the Romance. Book Festival.
The Romance Book Festival.
I believe we're with you
in Atlanta.
Are we in Arlington?
Yep.
I don't know. I think so.
Shit, I got an invite before. Why don't you check it? Huh? You still fucking with me?
When
y'all, that was y'all, right? That was you, right?
Yes.
You still fucking with a nigga? What?
Don't.
What's the projects, my nigga?
Right now, actually, right now as we speak, I'm in the middle of a project for L.
Kason.
So I'm working with L right now. I got a couple books I'm doing with her.
We have
I got some stuff coming up with E. Bowser. Right after that, I got some more stuff with Mo Flames. Shout out to Mo. What's up, Ma? There's also A. Lewis. I gotta throw in there because God forbid. You know what I mean?
and there's 2 other people.
There is. I thought you the manager. Shit. I just
know.
show up at the shows. You gotta you supposed to
Not
manage
I
the
just
books.
show up at the shows.
Listen, there's 2 other books from one new indie author. It'll be her first project, and then
Yes.
there's
I'm really looking forward to that one too, because she's a
there's
newbie.
listen, D,
I'm pretty much booked up
he's
for the
booked
year.
for the year.
I'm booked up for the rest of the year.
I might be able to
And,
squeeze some smaller projects.
That's a wonderful
in,
feeling, man. That's
but he is
great.
booked for the rest of the year, so we won't start doing or probably taking any more doing any more contracts until December. I can take it now and you can get in line. But we are pretty much booked up.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited because I'm working with a lot of great authors that I've always wanted to work with. And it's just it's just working out now.
I like that. I like that.
Yes, it's
even though I be wanting to throw ice water on your ass, but I like that.
Oh, and I think you're back on with Darlene Cunningham too. Like listen, there's a lot of moving parts. And the cool thing is we're always looking for other narrators to work with. Because I believe in spreading the love. But it's also the post-production. Like, I don't think many people understand.
Don't hook up, Jackie. I done seen you out here now. I know you out here.
Yes, that his attention to detail on the post-production end and how we collaborate to make these audiobooks sound so good. It takes time. And we believe in duets. We do duets over here. I prefer duets because that's how you wrote the book, right? So if we're having a conversation, I really want it to be conversational. So I'm a fan of the duet, and sometimes that takes a little bit of time. But what I hope we're putting out is greatness. It's a good representation of your brand. Something that you can stand by. So since we do that all in house, it takes a little time. Like, so not only are we recording, we're also doing the post-production. So
question, how do people get in contact with D for narration, both of y'all for narration and post-production? How does anybody get in contact with you? Because the producer,
tell her what you tell everybody.
Shit. Listen, if you want me to do your shit, contact me. Don't go to her. Because she might be looking for some other motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Which, I love everybody. But still, you know what I mean? It's me. But if you want me to do it, you be specific and say you want me to do it. Or just hit me in the DM. Because I almost ain't do that 12 play shit for Darlene. You know that story, did you?
Listen, that's neither here nor there. Listen, you can reach me in my bio.
I'm at D. Lewis, the narrator, on all platforms. I wasn't done talking, ma'am.
Go ahead.
D. Lewis, the narrator, on all platforms. I keep it simple, y'all.
Cause
hit me up.
Johnny tonight. Let me tell you. I let him cut up now, and I will get my lip at 12 o'clock.
Don't do that to me.
Well, so you can reach me. My bio link tree has every tag or link that you need. Email. You can get my inbox if you have a project and you're not sure, like the cost associated with audiobooks. let's have a discussion. I don't believe any time is wasted time. I do believe that if you don't ask a question, you don't know what you don't know. So then you become ignorant by default. So ask away, like, because you need to know. And most people will find out it's not as expensive as you think it is. And we're willing to work with everybody. Like we
It's
understand
very
that it's an
affordable. It's affordable. We
investment,
make it affordable for
but we
everyone.
make it affordable for everybody.
So
And D
before we
Lewis, the narrator, at gmail.com. Hit me up, niggas.
before we
Let
what?
him go to sleep.
Before we wrap up, what's something you want to leave with the audience, the narrators in here, the authors in here, whether it's advice, encouragement, or a message in regards to the industry?
These literary streets are not for the weak. What I mean by that is you have to sometimes go down your own road. You cannot always follow the popular highway. You got to carve out your own mark in this industry. Don't wait for anybody else to do it for you. Do it for yourself. Believe in yourself and align yourself with people who will encourage and support you. And that's a two-way street. Like I need that to happen for everybody. Like you can't be sensitive in this industry. It will eat you alive. And despite what people think, there's way more positivity in this community than there is negativity. And I think sometimes we dwell on that instead of the positive stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
So stay connected, but connect to the right individuals, and everything will be fine.
D.
No, I'm just fucking with you. No, be okay. Be okay being you. Whoever that is. You know, we get caught up a lot of times in what we see and what we think success is and all these other things and pressure society puts on us. But if you love what you're doing, just do it and be you. And everything else is going to fall in line. Trust in that. Trust that, when you align, with who you truly are as a person, when you align your vibration with the universe, good things will always happen. And it's going to work for you. So find out what that is. If that's being the author, if that's being the narrator, because that's what we're talking about right now. Take the chance on you every time, and you will never fail. You cannot fail. Just take that chance on you. If that's your true alignment and you really feeling that, go for it. And the worst that's going to happen is what? You where you are anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to take the chance on you. Always bet on yourself. Believe in yourself. And just stay true to you and who you want to be as a person.
Right.
And everything else is going to work out the way you want it to. And that's just advice for life. Not even just for this shit, but that's just real shit.
Facts. I just want to say thank you before we get out of here, and I do my little housekeeping spiel, my infomercial that I do at the end. I want to say thank you, and I also want to tell y'all the reason why I'm looking down because I'm stalking my daughter to make sure that she okay, so mama don't have to pop out and pop a nigga. So
I believe it too.
We need to roll out. We good.
When my little girl leave the house, I'm on it. I'm on it.
I feel you.
But anyway, I appreciate y'all so much. I have learned so much from you guys. I have learned how to be humble in my craziness. I have learned not to always pop out on a nigga.
You ain't learned that from me.
Yeah, now I don't know where you got that from.
Well.
In all things, right? Protect your brand.
Yes.
Because I believe when I first met you years ago, I had reached out to you and I said, hey, I done seen something and I see something in you. And I don't know where. I know you're going up. You're going up, my girl. And I want to be on this ride and watch you succeed. And this is you are going up. You have been going up. I need you to protect your brand.
I'm coming up.
So it is not always about popping out on somebody. Sometimes you have to do it in a more intelligent way.
Yes.
And that requires us to think before we act. That's all. I ain't never say don't pop out on the nigga, because sometimes you do gotta pop out on somebody. We just gotta watch how we do it so that
We ain't kidnapping people in the
protects the
church.
brand.
Yeah, I just, but I'm learning a lot from both of y'all because I see it from both ends. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a hood intellectual. I say that all the time. I'm degreed the fuck up, but at the same time, I'm born and raised hood chick. You know what I'm saying? So I see it from both ends and I learn. You know what I'm saying? And I have tough skin more so now than I did in the beginning. It was more, I was crash out queen out here. So it was just, now it's more of, I do have a brand and to respect that brand. You know what I'm saying? And the brand may have started with me, but the success came from people listening to me. Right. So I owe that to them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I respect y'all because I can come to y'all for advice.
Listen, AA is real nice, y'all. When I'm not AA, listen, I have been known to log out of AA to crash out on somebody under the government name. Don't think I sit over here and I'm all like, I am business when I am AA. That other girl, we don't never want to see her come in. So I completely understand, but I appreciate you for having us on.
It was a genuine conversation.
You know.
It's always a pleasure, Storm. Always a pleasure.
Because you've been family for years. You've been family to us for years.
Hold on. D, did you get your time? No,
this shit don't count because it's with her. This shit ain't, hell no. This shit don't count.
Log off right now.
This shit don't count.
What you mean?
No, I only got this time because you was talking to her most of the time. Hell no, this don't count.
Listen, it do count. No. It count.
You ain't speaking for me, nigga.
I'm not fucking with you no more.
Because listen, check this out. Queecious, don't make Strawberry come out because it's a whole nother podcast, my nigga. So
you can pull that shit if you want to.
Yo,
you can pull that shit if you want to. We can go there. We gonna go.
Yo,
I'm a goer.
Listen, and I'm a doer.
I'm a goer.
What? We can go all New York tonight. We can go all New York. Listen.
We can do it. We can do it.
Pop out. Listen. I'm with the YNs right now. What's up?
You get them fucking YNs hurt, my nigga.
I am hollering. It is Queesh. She should never tell me nicknames because, bruh, when you come to the event.
Listen. And back to AA. Have a nice night, everyone. It was a pleasure meeting you all.
This is what I deal with. They run around crazy and shit. This is what I deal with.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. That's funny as hell.
No, we love you, though, Storm. Thank you so much.
We love you.
I appreciate y'all. So let's get into this infomercial I'm about to do real quick because I'm about to do this shit real fast because I got oxtails and stuff to do. So, Boozy Book Tour. Boozy Book Tour is full steam ahead. We have dropped off not Arlington, but Orlando, Florida. It is dropped off. It wasn't in our control. Don't ask. None of your business. Just know anybody that bought a ticket is getting a refund and the offer to switch to a different city because it was on us. So now, if you ain't never buy no ticket, don't come in here because we had that.
Listen. It's just off the table right now. We'll be back.
Yeah. So, but you can get another city. If you bought a ticket or you are an author that was supposed to be in Orlando, you can pick another city or you can get a refund. That's the offer we are giving. So, we have Raleigh coming up May 17th. So, that lineup is real nice. Then you have Arlington, Virginia. This one. Go be there. So get your tickets because they are available and they're still off the tables available and vendors. Then we have Chicago, which is September October 18th. That is kind of like a 3-day event because the first day you're going to learn how to step like Chicagoans. I can't wait to see this. Y'all trying to step. And then that's the meet and greet. And then it's going to be the book signing. And then we're going to have a little brunch. And then you could be on your way and go home. That's Sunday. And then coming for the second time around, the Melanin Ball in collaboration, powered by Bray, that will be happening in February in Las Vegas.
And it's a house party thing. We're about to have some fun. I'm gonna need y'all to do that. Go get those tickets. The early bird special ends April 15th.
Right around the corner.
So if you want the discounted price, I'm gonna suggest readers and authors head on over to that website. Head over to the link in her bio, the link in my bio, and yeah, get them tickets because the price will be going up. It is Vegas, and Vegas does cost.
And does. And also, if you would like to sponsor a reader, if you would like to be a sponsor for all the events or one of the events, or hell, Vegas, we have sponsorship packets that are affordable and come with a lot of benefits. So I would advise you to get your sponsorship stuff done now. All right? Closed mouths don't get fed. And if you miss out, you miss out. And also, this will be the last time Shannon and I would be doing regular book events. Next year, it'll be only theme events. So Melanin Ball will be the kickoff of that. And then Denver, Colorado, which is also open for tickets, will be a BDSM dungeon night. You will have to sign an NDA for that because that is a pop-up of my nightclub that will be opening in Chicago in 2027. That will be a BDSM club called Shadowround. So, why are you looking like
Well, I'll be goddamn. Okay then.
This event is multicultural, interracial, romance. We will have other genres, but they have to be centered around erotica and BDSM. So, yes, we will be having that. And to also kick off with that, I will actually have Sir Leeses, which is a dom and professional kink expert. I will be interviewing him on April 6th. He will then tell you more as an author, as a reader, more about BDSM. We're both doms, and he is going to talk about kink, power play, and sensuality. So, yes, you are an author who writes sex scenes, who are into BDSM and all this other stuff. This is your chance to ask questions to a professional who lives the lifestyle 24/7. Okay? So after Denver, Colorado, we have Seattle, Washington, which will be the Alice in Wonderland tea party with the Mad Hatter. So what, D?
You really going from BDSM to Alice in Wonderland, nigga?
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. I just want to make sure we heard that right.
Yeah. We're going to have a tea party, and it would behoove you to understand that our white counterparts do have like Fairy Con and all that stuff. Dress up. This is a black event made for us. FUBU, nigga. So have fun, enjoy yourself. So if you're going to go to the BDSM dungeon night, dress the part.
Ooh.
If you're going to go to the Alice in Wonderland tea party, because I'm talking about Long Island iced tea, dress the part. Alice in Wonderland, Mad Hatter, all that stuff. Chester Cat, you know what I'm saying? Next, I have a social media planner that I made. You can get it in my bio. The physical copies will be sold at the Boozy Book Tour events, but you can also get digital copies with the link in my bio that you can put in your good notes. And it's 365 days of goals, social media planning, and self-care, because we as Black women do not do that enough. What else? Thank you for monetizing my YouTube channel and getting me over 1,000 subscribers. Please continue to support. I will continue to put content on there. Also, subscribe. It will be a what else? I'm trying to think of everything before Nicole said. Oh, go to my website. It's also in my bio, where I actually type out my book reviews. So you get to read what the hell I just said. You know. Yeah. Okay, that's it.
No, no, there's one more thing.
Huh?
For those of you who don't know, Storm was nominated for the AABB award. I really do need, and along with some other very talented individuals, I need y'all to go and show y'all support, because that's another item that we need to be, giving back and giving flowers to those people who support this community. Go and cast your vote. It's in the link in her bio. It's in the link in my bio. Go and cast your vote for all of them. Anytime we can clap for each other, we should clap for Storm.
Oh, and also I will be podcasting at the Gem Awards. I mean, well, the book event, the expo. I will be there podcasting live on location, and I will be live on location in Detroit for the ICU Book Expo. Yes, so come and see your girl. Not too much touching, but come and see your girl.
Nice, nice.
So that should be it.